thinking. It gets to... Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah.
Share to
the mark of my dignity shall scar thy DNA.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, we did.
Confirm your password. No, I don't even know what that is.
Something is about the bus.
What's about the bus? I wanna bus a nut. Big round oily butt.
That sounds so good.
Makes me feel good. I gotta find that shirt.
Yeah.
Word. Ham on.
Going.
Ham on?
Shamona.
Ham on.
Y'all see that video I sent y'all, Michael
I
Jackson?
didn't watch it yet. Man, I wanted to watch that.
Oh my God.
As soon as I read the title, I'm like, oh, that's dumb.
I love those videos watching him just
I've
be.
seen him a couple times.
he'll
do
clown
that,
on
dude.
people, dude.
He'll turn it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
yeah.
forget where I'm from, motherfucker.
You forget who my daddy was.
Like, ain't
Who
you
my
listen
daddy
to my
is.
songs?
Damn. I'm gonna channel Joe here.
Oh,
Joe.
for real, for real. Give you a good old Connery slap. You ain't bad. You ain't nothing.
What's up?
Hello.
Yo, what up, folks?
Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Heyo. I'm Scott.
I am Trizzle.
And I'm turning down the music.
Turn my shits up.
I can't hear them shits. No, for real. Turn me up.
Hot fire.
I got shot for real.
Fucking Dylon, right?
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I got shot. That one's so good. That one's so fucking good.
You know what? That's also Phil, by the way. You remember?
Oh, hey, that's me.
You remember in the Boondocks? You remember homies over hoes?
Oh yeah, dude.
Homies over hoes.
Do the homie.
Do the homie.
I do remember that one.
Good shit.
That's a good one, man.
Well, I was gonna make a pirate joke here.
Oh.
But I'm still trying to put my brain back into my head after watching this fucking movie.
Wow.
So this week we're talking about R.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What is it? Rise, revolt.
Rise, roar,
Roar,
revolt.
revolt.
Yeah,
Rise, roar, revolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does take the majority of the film to tell you that that's what the R's
yeah.
stand for.
I mean, but the original,
It
it was just the actors. It was the
okay.
actors, like the two main
And then
actors, and then the
them, like-
director.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a working title actually. But
And then they were like,
ended up just being
"Fuck
fuck
it."
it.
Cut them up.
They're a chill, laid back company. They said, "Fuck it, Cut them up.
Well, we will be getting into that shortly. Well, what have you guys been up to this week?
Phil, what have been?
Me and Deanna went and saw Lightyear.
Hell yeah.
What's your thought on it?
So I have some issues with it as an adult person that's seen a lot of sci-fi.
Okay.
But this is really good, like, kids sci-fi. This is absolutely solid. Like, if it's you just want kids to watch a movie that's not, because I mean it has some violence in it, but
Bro,
it's like shooting
we had
bugs
Flight
and
of the
shit.
Navigator, okay?
Yeah,
so
right,
I need to
right.
know. We had Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay, I got. Dude, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is not a children's movie.
We had,
I watched it when I was a kid, so that's
just because you watched it when you were a kid.
We had Last Starfighter.
We had the
okay?
Last
we go.
Starfighter.
Last
Right on,
Starfighter.
absolutely,
Right,
yeah.
Well, I mean, Enemy Mine again.
Enemy Mine,
Well,
yeah,
Enemy
exactly.
Mine is also
not
a kids movie.
Not at all.
This is more on the Flight of the Navigator side as far as that hopeful feeling and that good like we can do it kind of mentality, and it has a lot of moments that feel like uplifting and it's all about the power of friendship.
And that's what
like
made
it
you
always
mad.
is.
It was like, that's not what life is like
Yeah,
at all,
fuck
right?
this. This
For
ain't
real.
fucking
Ain't nobody
science
happy.
fiction.
This ain't no
What you
motherfucking
talking
game.
about? No, I want space pirates
That's right.
hunting for people. Anyway,
Ain't nobody doing no
guess-
spice.
Yeah, no, there's no spice going on.
Oh, damn.
What's up? So I guess the easiest way for me to describe it, because I don't see any reason why this movie wouldn't come to Disney Plus in the next couple weeks.
It should.
And I think you guys would enjoy it, so I
yeah.
think we should talk about it. So I don't really want to spoil too much. I mean,
Okay.
he's already had the main plot point spoiled, so I talked to him about it a little
but
bit.
I mean,
but still,
I'm not,
I didn't dig into the movie. It's just, But basically, it's kind of like if you took a bunch of Interstellar and put a bunch of Halo all over the top of it and made it for kids.
Right, I could see it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so there's a lot about it that's like I mean, that's the way that the Space Rangers kind of feel, is like Spartans.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's totally the way they treat them in the lore. But the main crux around the story, I'm not gonna tell you what the story is, just the thing that
Yeah, because they don't follow
right?
the story that's on the back of the Buzz Lightyear.
They
Not
absolutely
really.
do
Yeah.
not. No,
Right.
it
Yeah,
is some
it's
other
very
shit.
different.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, which is part of the problem that I think I have with it. But
Were you
again,
expecting that story going into it?
kind of like I was
Right.
expecting them to
Yeah.
tie it in a better way. Like this feels like a whole separate
Well,
thing.
it was designed that
But
way.
that's not
like
bad.
I read,
It's
I
just,
saw an
you know,
interview with
yeah.
the director talking about that specifically.
Yeah.
You know,
And it works. It totally works in its own context. Like
Yeah.
for what it is, it's a fun movie.
Right.
But it is a lot about time dilation.
okay. How did she enjoy it?
Oh, she loved it. She loved it.
That's
For the rest of
huge.
the day, we were blasting off. She I went to Walmart right afterwards, and she kept telling me like hold on, Daddy. And I'm like, why? And she's like 5, 4. And I'm like,
Great.
I was about to say, go to Walmart straight after that. Just don't
Yeah.
go to the toy section.
Oh,
it seemed like there would be
yeah.
like
No, I know.
nothing but Buzz.
oh, there was. Yeah,
I'm
but
sure.
she didn't really want any of that. She always wants a unicorn or some shit. You
That's
know what
what's
I mean?
up.
Like that's all it is. It
respect
doesn't matter what's going on.
yeah.
All about some unicorns, man. They vomit rainbows. So.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
and poop.
And
poop rainbows, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Uh,
All of their bodily functions revolve around rainbows.
Yeah, it's
You never quite look at a
do they
rainbow
cry
the same
rainbows
way.
They
too?
cry rainbows.
Yes,
yeah.
kind of like Albie the racist dragon.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, do unicorn
Touch it,
tears
you'll
turn
make it
into
dirty.
jelly beans?
Oh yeah.
That's good.
No, Albie, you did not kill me with your dragon flames. I crawled to safety, but you did leave me horribly disfigured. Laughed the boy.
I like it. What did it say? He grumbled racistly. Isn't that what he said? He grumbled. That was
Yeah, he
the.
said, get your hand off my tail. You'll make it dirty.
He grumbled
He
racistly.
grumbled quite racistly.
Wow.
It's so good.
I fucking love Riley
But
Common.
I played some more Red Dead. It's gonna take me forever to beat that
Yes.
game.
Oh,
It's because I like taking my time.
And that game is designed all around taking your time.
Yeah, it's a good sleepy time game.
It is.
You know, because I think it's way more relaxing than GTA.
Oh, of course, but GTA is more about that chaos.
Right, right.
You
This
know?
this has moments of chaos, but even in the chaos, I still feel like it's a lot more like it has better flow
Well,
to it.
there's
Yeah.
also a lot more going on in the wilderness. Like GTA is all about the
Exactly, yeah.
civilized areas. It's all about civilization. Red Dead gives you those towns. You have those, of course, but it's really more about the frontier. You know, what's going on in the wild. You know, like sometimes you'll just stumble across a random cabin with, you know, a couple that may turn out to be brother and sister. Like, you just never know.
Yikes.
Bro, it's going to get weird.
I was walking around, and there was just this guy screaming, and I walked over, and he was getting ripped apart by a wolf. And
What?
I'm like, okay. And I pulled my shit out, and I shot the wolf 2-3 times, and then he was out there bleeding out on the ground, and I walked up, and it gave me 2 options. I could either give him some whiskey, or I could give him some medicine. And I was like, neither of these will save his life.
Give him a bullet.
I guess I'm going to give him the medicine. And then he's like, this won't help, goddammit. And he's like, and just dies. I was like, well, fuck, can I get my medicine back?
Right.
And I looted him.
just loot him real quick. And
that's right.
You know, all he wanted was that whiskey, bro.
That's right.
You know?
But like, I basically, I've realized that I can play that game around Iana. I should just avoid the missions.
Right.
Because, and to be honest, I don't think that the most of what I've done has been that bad. But when it gets violent, it gets fucking
really
violent.
violent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and those animal attacks, man.
Yeah.
Like,
boy,
those bears.
Oh, dude, I ran into that first epic bear, the one that's got the big scar across his eye and everything.
Yeah,
that's
boy.
a scary bastard.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And it will kill you.
But I'm pretty blown away by how good that game looks. Like, even to today's standard, like even looking at what Unreal Engine 5 has to show, like that shit looks great. It's perfectly lit. Is what it is. It's perfectly lit in every single scene. Like everybody's jackets and everybody's horses and all of the fur detail and stuff like that.
And
I'm like, this ran on a
that's
PS4.
still
dude.
literally that. It's still just a PS4
it's
game.
Just a PS4.
You know,
game.
and I kind of, part of me hopes that they don't patch it for PS5. They tend to break things when they do that. You know, and so
man.
now GTA 5 worked
one,
well.
Yeah, this one should be fine.
You know, so
dude.
it should be fine. But
Since they already have a high spec model on the PC, it really should just be changing some settings. This should be a fucking free upgrade, though.
Right?
It should.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it turns out that this is going off of the PlayStation Plus Premium in August.
Why?
Oh, really?
Right.
So all these things are temporary, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
that's
this is starting to,
that was
right?
a bait and switch.
It's a bait and switch, right?
Wow.
I still don't feel like I've got ripped off because I got to experience the game enough to now I know that I want it. You know, it does make me want to kind of stop playing it though, because I feel like because it's going to take me so long to beat it, I might just put this on the back burner and either buy it for PC or get the PS5 version when it comes out. You know what I mean? Either way.
Even though I think you'd be able to find an inexpensive physical version pretty easily.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because I had to go buy Resident Evil 7 and remake of 2 because I wanted to see these patches, which we will talk about.
Well, and 2, if you get you just go find an inexpensive physical version, you can potentially carry over your save.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll work just fine. Yeah. What was it that didn't do that? I remember at one point it was like the digital version and the physical version didn't have compatible saves.
Oh.
There was like a specific game that for some reason wouldn't. I don't know. That's just whatever. What'd you guys do?
Was it God damn it? What was the
Is that ringing a bell though?
It was I'm thinking about a frame rate issue.
No, this was with a glitch. You're talking about with the Last Guardian.
Last Guardian.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, no, this is a totally different thing where it's like if you had the physical copy of it, then $30 is the way it's been sitting for a while, and I keep being like 30's worth it for Red Dead 2.
Yeah, because I mean
wasn't
everybody
sure.
all attention is still squarely on GTA 5 and GTA Online.
Absolutely.
You know, like in the grand scheme, nobody gives a shit about Red Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like just truthfully right now.
But this is such a good game.
You know,
oh my God.
Once they drop a patch for it, you know, then all of a sudden all eyes will be back on Red Dead. But they're not going to I don't even know.
What if they're doing that? What if that's the situation here? What if they're taking it off of the PlayStation Premium
because there's about to be
releasing
a PS5?
right.
That would make all the sense.
Even if
the
they just announce it as soon as it goes away. Even if they just announce it, it'd be enough for everybody to be like, "Oh, I gotta go buy Red Dead," and they do it like right then.
Right. I wonder what'll happen with that because they've all but abandoned RDO.
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
And a lot of the Red Dead, fan base are just like, this is not what you promised us.
Yeah.
And
we were supposed to have an online experience similar to GTA for years that was upkept. Yeah. Because they just released new bounties or new bad guys.
Oh, there's new bounties. There's of course they added that whole content with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg's in that motherfucker.
Oh no, I'm talking about in Red Dead. They pretty much just had the new bounties, and that was about it.
That was about it.
They didn't do any new because they have whole events and shit over there.
Oh yeah, they just added more vehicles. Just like last week.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, Scooter.
Well, not a lot. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
So just to correct myself from last week, I was watching and still watching No Guns Life. I was wrong about
Gunface?
That's Gunface.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Guns Life, YouR Gunface. But I was wrong about the episode count. It is not 12 episodes. It is 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, it's
is that a single season?
Or? Yeah. That's one season.
Okay.
It's 2 cours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because usually what'll happen when series are that long is about halfway through the first 12 episodes, they'll change the OP and the ED. You know, so that's how they separate the cores. So it's core 1, core 2, and I just got into core 2, and core 1 was good, but dude, shit's popping off.
Yeah.
Like Juzo is the Gunface guy. You're learning a lot more about his backstory, and he is a fucking monster. Like he's a chill dude in the current like timeline, but like his past is just like, dude, you did some shit.
So he's like a Rurouni Kenshin?
Kind of.
Oof.
Kind of. So.
Oof. Did they explain the gun face?
Yes. So in the world, it's basically, cyberpunk, cyborgs.
Okay, well, I already got it then.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, they call him extended, and he was a specific, like,
he got extended, did he?
Specifically war extended.
Okay.
So, and it was like they, in the war, they kind of allude to it a little bit, and you see a little bit of it later on. But basically, you had these. He's what they called a gun slave, and then they had their partners called hands, and they actually have like a trigger on the back.
Stop, dude. Quit.
Yeah. So nope. Super. Their super attack is just the hands.
It's really good.
I'm telling you, this show is fucking right up y'all's alley.
I don't know why. All I saw, all I'm imagining is Mugman when his hand broke. Yeah. And he holds up the donut to the back of his.
That's not gonna work, Mugman.
But good show. Other than that, so I got OBS working again.
Good.
So I'm gonna start streaming. I'm going to actually try to, this next week, start streaming a little bit more on my own channel.
What are you doing?
Laser Punch 86, by the way. My first thing is there's a demo for Live Alive.
Oh, yeah,
out.
Totally.
So I'm going to play through that.
Is it Live Alive?
Is it
man,
Live
Alive.
Live Alive.
I thought it was Live Alive.
Who goddamn knows?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't,
yeah.
I call it
Japan, man.
Yeah, I call it Live Alive because it just flows a lot easier. But I've heard people just say Live Alive.
Right. And they're looking at us being like, it'd be easier if you just pronounced shit in a way.
Why don't you just read it?
Yeah. Why don't
you just say it how
I'm
it's
sorry.
Because you see our language, you say something and it works that way every time. Every single time.
Yeah.
No, sorry. We speak English. We gotta be complicated.
That's right.
So I'll probably start doing that. And I haven't picked. I'm debating the Fire Emblem Warriors because I still have the Fire Emblem Warriors demo, which is just the first half of the game, on my Switch. So I'm thinking about potentially, when I'm not playing. Live. Just going back through that demo.
So you're going live with Live Alive?
I'm going live with Live Alive. So, Laser Punch 86. That's my channel, guys. Check it out this week. Anyways, after that, I've been because now I have Premiere. I've gotten back into the my fan project, my fan edit of Birdie the Mighty.
Yeah.
OVA. I'm trying to edit it like I would a movie, kind of to get me back into editing, and also I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit of a passion project,
I've had Act 1 done for a while. I've just started working on Act 2. It was a little hard to figure out what the threads were that I was going to move forward with because I was just like, okay, what do I do? Do I start with a montage? Like, what am I going to focus on? Should I keep Revy in? Well, if I take Revy out, that, means I got to take Gomez out, and Gomez is fucking awesome. I don't want to take him out, so but I found the thread. I know the plots that I'm going to be following. I know how I'm going to pepper certain things in that I'll be, focusing on in Act 3. So eventually that'll be up at somewhere, not on YouTube.
Somewhere. Yeah, why not?
You can do it. You can do it. You're not a monetized channel.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, then, that might be up eventually on my channel, so for people to watch.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
if it were monetized, you'd have an issue, but if it's not monetized, then it's just a fan project, bro.
I think you just helped me out mentally with a thing.
I'm always here for you.
Thank you.
The other half, and then also YouTube's been looking at their monetization structure for React videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually contemplating changing the monetization for those to a point of maybe not even allowing for monetization at all, which is interesting because what is a review if not just a reaction?
Well, sure, but those React videos specifically are basically somebody watching the
somebody
video
else's
with
stuff. Exactly. So the hard part is like who gets paid for that content.
Is there
right?
like a nested monetization that's happening
right,
there? Is
exactly.
There like
it's like, well, whoever's channel it is, that's who gets the money, and
right.
that's the issue that people are running into.
But
it's
you'd
like
think that the other
people
person
who
should be getting
because
right.
there's a chance that if people watch the React video, they may never go back and watch the original video,
and the
some
React video
people
might
don't
even get more fucking views.
Exactly, right? So that
Yeah.
becomes an issue. That becomes a problem.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who are just like, whatever. It still gives more exposure to these other content creators,
which is right.
which is positive.
Yeah.
But that's not 100%.
Sure.
Some people
No.
just like to hear people's reactions to different things, and so it's just interesting.
So I'll my goal is to have Act 2 done by the end of the month, and then take another month to work on Act 3. So hopefully within the next 2 to 3 months, I'll be done with that.
Yeah, and we'll just create a YouTube channel just for your projects and stuff. You know
Well,
what
I mean, I just throw it up on my personal channel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Because why the fuck not? I already got it. And I've been wanting to kind of rebuild that because I was putting the Mad Cinema stuff and the Occasionally Relevant Gaming Show when we were doing that on there, and that was pretty much all the videos. I think there's like a Let's Play of Deedlit in the Wonderland.
Oh yeah, Deedlit
on there too. But I've been wanting to kind of move it towards more like anime and movie focus, like just making other videos. But
You need to just start doing rant videos, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
for
I
real,
might as well.
actually. Yeah, get on that porch.
Yeah.
I film it right out there.
I was doing that for
I
a
know
while.
you
Yeah.
were.
I was doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff that didn't really do much this week. Like I said, it was just kind of super fucking busy. I didn't have time for much. But like this is all stuff that I'm hoping moving forward this week I can really like focus on and like maybe build up some shit.
Yeah,
So
totally.
yeah, but that's it, man. Trey, what you been up to?
It's been pretty much the same. Busy bee.
Walking to and fro.
Yeah, rocking to
What
and
if we
fro.
close our eyes?
Like,
what if we can't wake up?
All right. Oh, fuck yeah. I had a better week than I thought. Shit.
Gotta pull some chariot out any chance I get, man. I can't help
chance.
it.
By the way, the chariot.
Fucking the chariot.
No, man, I just, did the work thing. Got caught up with The Boys. This new season of The
Hell yeah.
Boys is
I still haven't had a chance to start
fucking
watching
lit.
that either.
That's
It's,
all I've been hearing is
dude,
just fucking wild.
It's wild,
Yeah.
man, and it's the best of the series has been. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, but this season is like it just keeps you on the edge of your seat every friggin' episode.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not watching The Boys, definitely do that. They just dropped the last 2 episodes of Stranger Things. Okay, so this is weird. Like the second part of the 4th season released, but it's only 2 episodes. So they did 1 through 7 for the first half of season 4.
Oh.
And then we got 8 and 9.
But those are longer episodes,
Well,
right?
one of them is like an hour, and I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes, somewhere around there.
Okay.
The other one's like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, right? It's just kind of weird that they chose this model, this approach.
Yeah, that's all over the place. Okay.
Yeah, it's really kind of odd. So these things exist. I haven't watched that yet. That's going to happen over the next couple of days. I have been playing Monster Hunter Rise.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, you
right?
have.
So I've been enjoying that. I've been playing a lot of DNF Duel.
Oh yeah.
So
I barely had a chance to touch on that.
Neither,
but,
yeah, same here.
But we are gonna be DNF dueling tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That
come
is
back
absolutely the
later
situation.
tonight, probably around 11:30,
Uh-huh.
and we'll be pushing buttons on DNF Duel and the Drunken Monks.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the longevity of this game. Like I enjoy. I know, right? All the way down, but you gotta have your the mic stand like on.
Like,
your chest,
no, you're right.
all
Yeah,
the way up. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, man,
Wow.
it's like DNF Jewel is a weird game for me. Like y'all know I play every fighter known to mankind. But it's one of those games that like. Because I've been making story mode playthroughs. Like the story mode's really cool. Like they have like it's all fully voiced. And
it has them rendered actually talking to each other. It's not 2D images.
Well, some of them are and some of them aren't. And then some of them will have like your character on the left side, and they'll actually have lip syncing with your character.
Nice.
And then the NPC, whoever they're talking to, might just be on a card. But the way that they move the cards, like they kind of fake. Like at one point, Enchantress is sneaking around in a tavern, and so they take her card and like drop it all the way down, so you don't really see anything but the top of her head.
Wow.
And then she's like sneaking around while speaking. It's really cool, right? And so I just thought the shit was funny.
They have fun with it.
So yeah, right. It's really well thought out.
Yeah,
you don't have to have animation 100% of the time. You have
Yeah.
imaginations, right? So I started doing YouTube series of the playthroughs.
Yeah.
I have Enchantress up right now. I have Kunoichi up as well.
Cool.
And so
yeah.
each one takes about an hour to get through.
Kunoichi, dude.
Oh yeah, right. It's like I've been through with Striker, Vanguard, but I didn't really have this idea until later, and it just takes a little bit of time. So,
have you played with everybody at this point?
Pretty much, yeah. I play with everybody
Yeah.
to a greater or lesser degree. I haven't taken everybody into the training to see what they're actually doing, but I press buttons on everyone.
Yeah.
But I find that like. I have more fun when I am watching this story content than I am when I'm actually pressing buttons sometimes. And I think a lot of that is because of the just the nature of the game. Like I like movement. I like a lot of movement, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of your movement is attached to your moves instead of actually being your character
I've
moves.
noticed this.
Yeah, your character moves
you
very,
have
very
no
slowly.
double jump, no air dash.
Well, unless Kunoichi has a
Sure.
double jump, like some of these abilities will be on specific characters, but a lot of them are locked behind moves. And so just making sure that you know which move, because it's very specific, right? If you press back and a button, that's going to lock you into animation lock for like 15 frames. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very long animations. And so a lot of Japanese players aren't checking for DNF at all. You know what I'm saying? Korea is loving it, of course. It's a Korean game, right? A lot of Japanese players aren't playing. There are some Japanese players who are like top anime fighters, and they're just like, this game is hard. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't play like what you want it to play like when you see it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
not going to play like a Blaze Blue or a Melted Blood.
Right,
Man,
right.
this is
or
more
Grand
like
Blue.
this is more like Battle Fantasia.
Yes, more along those lines.
It's like Battle Fantasia with a lot of the stuff from Grand Blue kind of mixed into it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it's also
like Grand Blue kind of feels like that.
Absolutely.
But Grand Blue still isn't as. This game is all about big hits, boy.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the what's up, Lime? Hey, love. When it comes to the high level competitive community, some of these things are going to be like live and die by 1 to 2 combos. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be, That's going to be everything. So it could end up being like the most high execution fighter out there, period.
Wow.
Because you have to make sure that you're doing those combos.
What do you mean by it being similar to the MMO? Because I mean, I played an early version of Dungeon Fighter. And I mean, yeah, it's cool. It works really well. Like it's a good game, But I haven't played it in so long. I don't really remember what the similarities would be, except for like the move cooldown, I guess.
I don't know what he's referencing.
Yeah, I don't either. I actually don't either.
I do
and
think
I played
that
the damn game.
I think the game is. I think the game is cool. I'm not saying that it's not cool. I think that it is it's very entertaining, and I enjoy it when I'm playing it. But I don't know how long. Like it doesn't have that same. I could see it being very easy to kind of cap out with what you can really kind of do, versus something like a KOF, and unfortunately I just like that tech, like the combo and chain special. Yeah, exactly. Because that's what it's all about, is chaining your specials.
Yeah.
Which is dope.
It's dope.
It's really, really dope. But I could see it getting kind of samey over time.
Yeah.
Like this is week 1 and people are already, they got infinites and shit, you know what I'm saying?
I saw that.
And I don't know how long they're going to support the game.
It was a dumb infinite.
Oh yeah, dude, just it's one button.
Oh, hey, thanks for following us.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much,
Welcome to the family.
Zambia. Big Zambia.
Heck
Is that
yeah.
Zambia?
Zambita.
Make sure you
Big Zambia.
make sure,
Yeah, boy.
and I'll,
Like
I'll
that.
cover this. Make sure you hit the bell so you know when we go live.
Yeah, we'll be throwing some hands.
right.
And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to play with you guys and see some different takes. Because I got to
Yeah.
play with Robbie,
Yeah.
you know, and so
Yeah.
that was a good time.
Yeah, I want to try out
Um,
more characters tonight because I mean I've been rocking Crusader, but Crusader I already feel like what you're talking about there, in that like I've pretty much figured out where to go. That doesn't mean I pull it off correctly,
Right.
But I've figured out his shtick, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, there's
What's
a
this
lot of
boy
fun to be
with
had,
the-
and he's very strong
Who's the
still.
boy with
Yeah.
the guns?
Troubleshooter.
Yeah,
you
not
also have Hitman.
Troubleshooter.
Yeah.
I think
You also
it's-
have Ranger.
I think it's Ranger.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because
Yeah.
when we were playing the beta, I think when I hit Ranger, I was just like, "Oh, yep, that's my boy."
Shit, man, I want to play with the girl with the minigun. I want to try her
Yes,
out.
Launcher.
absolutely.
Launcher, dude.
Yeah,
Launcher looks awesome.
Launcher is solid,
Awesome,
man.
yeah.
Like, I've been really enjoying playing Striker, surprisingly enough. I
Yeah,
didn't expect
Striker's
that.
good.
Striker
And
just feels
Enchantress
good.
is really good, but difficult. Like, that's
Yeah.
probably the hardest puppet character that I've ever played.
Really?
And I play Zato. You know, like
Right.
I play
Who's
puppet
it
characters.
similar to?
It would still be somewhere between Zato and Carl Clover,
Okay,
but
okay.
it's not. It's maybe she's closer to Relius, I guess. You know,
Where it's
because
more moves
her,
rather than being an actual controlling.
well, you can
thing?
switch over and control your doll, but it's not ideal to do that for long
the
periods of
Danganronpa
time.
that you have over there.
Right. 'cause that thing moves slowly, you know. So sometimes it's better that it get kind of left because you can easily leave it off screen, and sometimes it's better to kind of let it get left off screen so people kind of forget about it, and then you can trigger an attack, and that attack kind of comes seemingly out of
that's
nowhere.
cool.
Wait,
You know what I'm
Trap,
saying?
that's
So
that's very
it's
like
mind
Carl.
games, man.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But Carl can easily like teleport his sister right back to him, and it's a lot more difficult for her to be able to do that. Like you have to unsummon or relinquish the direct control of your puppet. His name is Mad, M-A-D-D. She's got Happy, and that's her little rabbit that she carries around. She throws it out like kind of like George the
Like
13th.
George.
Yeah. And then she's got Mad, and Mad's a bad man. You know, and so it is. It's going to be really, really fun just playing this game. But I mean, it's broke on purpose.
It's
you know?
broke on purpose. I absolutely feel you on that one.
Yeah.
It's like Hokuto no Ken. That game was broke on purpose.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's what they want, man.
Yeah.
It's a $50 game, and I just wonder what we're gonna see.
Just
as far
max
as
out on
support.
motherfuckers.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
that's what it is, man.
Do you think we'll get more characters? That's
Yes.
really the question.
Yeah.
It's definitely broken. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely broken.
Yeah, no question, man. We'll definitely see some.
But broken doesn't mean it's not
characters.
going to be fun. Like that's
Yeah,
the cool thing.
that's the
Well,
thing.
well, I mean, that's the
You
thing.
know?
It's like it's gonna live or die by its fan acceptance. The problem
Yeah.
right now is that there's so many great fighters to choose from.
Dude,
True.
seriously.
Yeah.
There are just
Yeah.
so many
And,
options.
and when
right
you
now.
have such a fine-tuned
just
machine like King of Fighters 15, and when you-
Right.
you know,
And then
like-
you have things like, Guilty Gear is the number 1 fighter, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's playing Strive. And so you have Strive out there doing work as well. They're pushing this really hard. I think there's going to be like a $10,000, or is it 100? I think it might be a $100,000 prize pool, cash prize pool.
Wow.
Because
Yeah,
they're
that's
really
pretty
trying
serious.
to, they want
Yeah.
people to play the game, right?
Yeah.
And so, we'll see what happens. But, when Japan doesn't accept something, then that's kind of
usually
a
a
problem.
death nail right there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little rocky, which could it could change
about
over time.
to say it may just be like a slow build right now.
I mean, it's cold, bro.
So
It's cold, but
Robbie,
everybody's getting ready for Evo as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
think a
totally.
lot of people don't want to split their time between this
Right.
new thing and what they're actually going to be trying to play at Evo. So.
I mean,
Because Goichi is actually, I think, a #1 player in DNF Duel. He wants that 100K. He said, if y'all ain't going to play, I'm going to play.
Yeah.
He's like the
Nice.
#1 ranked player right now.
Wow.
And so watch him because that boy's about to make some bank.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
whip
Go,
out
go,
an
JP.
infinites at a tournament. Dude.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, yeah, they'll just end up banning stuff like that,
yeah, I
but
know.
not this year.
Yeah, it's like Thanos and Marvel vs. Capcom. Like,
Yeah.
nobody,
Oh, shit.
nobody can play Thanos
Yeah,
anymore.
dude,
You
they'll
can't do it.
just have fun with it for 1 year and then
Yeah.
start hitting it with the bam hammer. I just hope that they actually do choose to balance the game a bit, but
Yeah,
the game
yeah.
already
I'm sure
feels
they
like
will.
it's not supposed to be balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
I like broke games, man.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
I
I'm
think
all
they're
about
fun.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Slam on your friends.
yeah, absolutely.
Fun at parties.
Which is exactly what we'll be doing later.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
boy.
Well, I guess head into news. Jutsu. And before that, guys, just want to do this more often. Follow us if you like what we do here on Twitch. We're also on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and everywhere else you want to listen to podcasts. So
support
like,
your boys.
share, subscribe, comment, and ding the bell.
Yeah.
Ding the bell.
So,
News!
I'm gonna start out with this one. It looks like, oh man, what's his name? Kojimura? Is that his name? Kojimura?
It ain't Koji Fox, I'll tell you that.
Kojimura.
Kokimori.
Why does that not sound like what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, really, I know.
Kojimura.
Berserk will continue under the supervision of Kokimori.
Spell that.
Kouki.
Koki.
Weird.
Koki,
Okay.
yeah, Kokimura, Mori. Yeah. Anyway, so Berserk is going to continue. It turns out,
Awesome.
And Kokimori was one of Kentaro Miura's best friends. This is the guy that he grew up with him. He is technically the thing that he based Griffith off of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of the interactions. Like, for instance, very specifically, in Berserk, when Guts leaves the Band of the Hawk, and it causes such a big problem for Griffith, that was, directly about when, Kentaro decided to go on his own and stop being part of the group that he had, and he started his own, manga career in that direction. That's when he was working for. Who was it? What was he? The dude that did Hokuto no Ken. I can't think of the dude's name. But he was he was working under that guy.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got that job, it kind of fucked this Mori up. It kind of fucked him up, and so he started the way he made it sound is his life turned into Kunio-kun, where he was basically just talking about he got in a shit ton of street fights all the time, and I was like, but did you have a pompadour? This is the real question.
Probably.
Right?
No. Did you have a pompadour and or a bat with nails?
Right. And did you have one of those comb knives? You know what I mean? Like the stiletto, but it's a comb.
They gave Guile one, dude. You got a butterfly knife.
Right.
But yeah,
Great.
so after all this happened, basically he got out of the game and he couldn't draw anymore and all this, and then he finally got a second wind in him, started publishing his own.
Cool.
And he had been continuing. Once he finally got back in touch with Miura, they for years were talking about where this series is going, what the actual ending is. They continued to talk about moments in their lives that were the basis of the actual story. So there's a lot that Mori understands about this, where it's like, yeah, I was there, so I understand where he's trying to get to.
Right, because I mean, you're saying that they're continuing it, because I thought the information that we got was that they were about to conclude.
They were,
and that he was going to conclude it.
Right.
So
he's going to continue to write to the ending. Is the
right.
situation.
Okay. Yes.
So yes, he is trying to end it.
Right.
Yes.
He's just got to get up to it. It's not going to be just like bam, one more
No,
volume.
no.
and then you're done.
It's going to be another. They haven't said how many, but basically he's going to do however many chapters it takes to get
finish
to
out
the
the story
and
the
finish
right
the
way.
fucking story.
Right.
Exactly what Miura wanted. You know what I mean?
Absolutely
And
beautiful.
of course, they already have the art team that's been working on it. Which in case you don't know, there's this other manga called Gigantomachia.
Gigantomachia?
Something
like that?
It's another weird.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's very good, but it's mostly drawn by Miura's team, not by Miura himself.
Yeah,
so it's a
'cause
little bit more of a.
It was the manga that they pretty much used to train.
Yeah, to teach these guys. Yeah.
To,
this
work
is
on
how you
Berserk.
Miura.
This is how you do it, right?
Well, I mean, they always do that with an anime studio
do.
or
Oh,
a
yeah,
manga
absolutely,
studio.
yeah.
Like
Totally,
you always
yeah.
have those people that you are training in the background. Same thing with
and you have
Kishimoto.
assistants and stuff, because
so-
pumping this shit out every week is fucking hard.
Exactly. And then there's always, which is how you end up with like a Boruto.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, Naruto's done. It's like, well, we like them checks. It's like,
We like it.
can we use the styles? Like, yeah, man, go ahead.
Just do your thing.
The only
Can we
thing I'm
move the
hoping.
news.
Oh yeah.
over?
Can you scoot the news?
Scoot, can you scoot the
Scoot the scoot.
Can you scoot the scoot?
The only thing I'm hoping is that with his direction, they'll release them faster. because that's one of the problems with Miura is he was
Is that
such
really what you want though?
Yeah, because I want to actually be able to read it before I die. Yeah. I already have given up on reading the end of Game of Thrones. I've given the fuck up. Okay, so please just let me.
Like, don't take Berserk as well.
Yeah, right.
I think they could
You
knock
just
it
don't
out.
want Boruto, bro.
Really?
I'm just gonna tell you, you don't want
forever.
Boruto.
You mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like something that's kind of half baked.
Oh,
you know,
no, I don't
something
want
that
that.
looks
No,
like what
no.
you love, but
Yeah.
it has none of the substance. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out what he's worth. You know what I mean? But I think he knows enough, and the studio's already there. You know, because they already had all Miura's notes as well. I think this is the right combination to get us.
It's
least
very, very positive.
Very positive.
Very, very
Yeah.
optimistic. Like moving forward.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
good news.
More Berserk. Always good. Halo.
Halo Infinite co-op beta.
Yeah.
Right? Is it only 2-player co-op?
No, that wasn't actually specified. They just said that they're gonna have a beta, which makes me think that it probably is only a 2-player beta.
Yeah.
It should be a 4-player beta by this point. It really, really should be.
Let's say you got 4 people in.
I see
well,
3.
but-
Well, there's 4.
4.
Yeah.
4's on the screen.
There's one on the rack.
But was this image taken from that information, or did you just find an image?
I just found an image.
Exactly, because
okay.
that would just be a fire team, right? So that has nothing to do with anything.
That's
But-
4 Master Chiefs.
4 Chiefs. But yeah, so they're actually going to give us a beta on July the 11th. Sign up starts today and runs through the 5th. So if you want to take part in it, if anybody watching, if y'all want to take part in it, go
Sign
ahead
up
over
right
to
now.
343's website. Exactly. Sign up for the beta. So they'll give you the full campaign that you can play with your friends multiplayer. However, your progress will not be carried over when the actual game launches.
Well, that makes sense. It is a beta.
This is a big ass game though.
But that's
Yeah,
also
true.
kind of ass.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to make a lot of progress, and then once that full version comes out,
You have to start the fuck over.
if you even want to start the fuck over.
Did you ever try the campaign?
No, it didn't install. I told you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Oh man.
like for some odd reason, it would just never install.
Because really, the intro of it's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very, very ready to play the game, but it wouldn't let me do it. So I said, "Fuck it," moved on. You know.
Yeah. And I don't think I care enough to try the co-op anymore. Like it
Yeah.
wins out of that sale.
In my mind, there are just too many other co-op experiences right now that I'd
Yeah.
rather do versus Halo. Like at that point in time when we had the multiplayer beta,
Yeah.
you know, and the campaign was first being launched, it was fresh on my brain. I'm like, okay, this is hot.
Yeah.
Let's relive the Halo experience.
And I'd go back and
they
play
were-
some more of
they
that.
were
It's
crushing.
fucking great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But at this point, I kind of don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, who knows? We might get a wild hair and decide to check it out. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But it is interesting that they're choosing to give us that at this point. I wish they would have put it closer to the 4th. You know, a lot of people are off work.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I think that would have been a smarter play. You know, but oh well. It is what it is.
Here's that vacation
It
game.
is.
I know, right? Yeah, it's always nice to have that vacay game. You know, so we've got that all.
Monkey Island. What is it? Ron Gilbert.
Yeah, Ron Gilbert is pissed off at the internet because they're dicks.
Because they're dicks.
Because
man.
everybody's a dick and wants to complain about the new art style and all this stuff. And like, and Ron Gilbert's
And,
like, I'm
well-
fucking done with telling you
the problem
guys
is
stuff.
also they're making a lot of this very personal
Yeah.
and directed directly at him.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's just like, what the fuck, man? He's like, every single Monkey Island. Okay, so the story is that, we got the trailer, first
Yeah.
gameplay trailer
Yeah.
for the new Return to Monkey Island.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. All right. It's a very unique animation style.
Kind of reminds me a little Grim Fandango.
Yes.
Kind of like much more colorful.
Of course,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
but it still has that kind of like really flat, kind of like cardboard, not cardboard, but construction
paper. Yeah,
kind of
totally.
look to it, yeah. But the internet, people take to Twitter and they get their Twitter thumbs just to going, and they were just being really hateful towards the guy.
Wow.
And so he was like, I'm super excited about this thing. Every single Monkey Island, if you have actually played through all of them, all have a dramatically different art style. That's the point of Monkey Island. That's what they do, And so did it this time. People were like, I waited 30 years for this. I'm not going to buy this trash. And he's like, okay, you know what? You were taking the joy out of this thing that I was really excited about. So I'm going dark. He's like, I'm not talking about the game anymore. We're not going to release any info about it. That's just what it is, And so
Wow.
And that really sucks, man. It just really sucks to see people's like emotional states have to be affected just because somebody's sitting on their can is, over there just slinging mud at them. And
I mean, I think it's, a clear-cut case of that Twitter is cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
pretty much.
I'm baffled constantly by how much like legitimate, industries and sources rely on fucking Twitter. It blows my mind.
Yeah, but I mean, games live and die by it. And
I know.
It's just, it really just breaks my heart that, he was probably really excited when he saw like, oh man, I've got like 2,000 comments. Like, let me look through the comments. Yeah, dude. And it's just like bam, bam, bam.
It's all poison in there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nobody told him. No, see, he's an
No,
old
nobody
school.
told
Yeah, he's an
him.
old school game director,
Oh,
game
you're
developer,
right,
and
yeah.
nobody told him like, hey man, don't look at the comments. Just
Yeah,
don't.
uh-huh.
Just don't do it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
just
saying?
let 'em
Like,
pop
Let them
up.
fight against themselves.
That's right.
Exactly.
And you just push content. That's what you do.
Exactly.
I don't look at the comments.
Every once in a while I will. Like I put a video up the other day for DNF Jewel.
Yeah.
Because, more and more games are kind of aimed towards controller play as
Right.
well as fighting games. And so with DNF, like when you go into the training mode, you can't skip to the next training like challenge because you have to click R3, right? And you don't have an R3. But I found a workaround for that, and so I made a video about it. You can actually reassign. It's in your record settings. If you reassign your play button from the R3 button to just whatever L2, whatever you have available, then you can actually use that. And I didn't expect anything from it. I just threw it up. I think it's sitting at like 400 something views right now, but all the comments have been overwhelmingly positive.
Oh, yeah.
So you always run the risk of like, missing out. You want to peak, but if you start seeing the hate train,
Then
just
look
cut it
away.
off.
Just look away.
Cut it off.
I mean, dude, on the VGM stuff, all the covers that me and Levi did, all of those have positive comments. I haven't seen a negative comment at all.
Right.
In any of that. They're like, oh shit, you did a track I love.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So you do one little thing, and all of a sudden, I've had that happen on Reddit before.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm just like, but it kind of makes me giggle.
Yeah.
I just love it. I'm like, dude, you are across the country and you're seething right now. You know what I'm saying?
I got
like,
the weirdest
feel
Reddit one because I posted. So there was this guy when I worked at the apartments that apparently took one of those really long mouse pads, that goes across the whole desk, and he used it as a welcome mat.
That's funny.
That's
true.
So I walked up to this dude's door, and there's this folded up mouse pad
nice
says
texture.
fucking Steel Series or whatever on there, and I was like, okay, so I took a picture of it and posted it on Reddit's PC Master Race thing, and a bunch of people were like, wow, this all this, and it was mostly maybe not positive but not negative reactions.
Right.
Like, it's just people going like, what the fuck, why would you do this and all this, but then I kept getting negative comments that were like, you should have put a trigger warning or whatever in this. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah,
Really?
I've seen the same thing. Just posting to like hardware gore. People got really mad about my Novid 19.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they got super mad. They're like, oh well, the original poster OP thinks he's a comedian, and I'm just like, actually no, man. It's like that's just what's happening in the gaming industry.
I just coined a term.
Yeah, it's just a term. It's an easy way to sum up what the fuck's happening.
You're
So
a comedian.
yeah, right. I think you're a comedian.
And you think you're a critic over here.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, well, don't look at the negative comments. That's
Yeah.
what Ron Gilbert
And
learned.
then watch the trailer for Monkey Island and form your own opinion
Yeah.
because
It
it
looks
actually
good.
looks really, really interesting. Looks really cool. We need more comedy out there. We gotta laugh. Oh God! Speaking of God, no.
So
That dude is horrific.
I know. That's why I put him
Hideo
up there.
Kojima is shelving a game?
Well,
Yeah.
he was
Because
working on
of
a
this-
he was working on a project. This is, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a little interesting tidbit. He
Yeah.
was working on a project and he's been working on it for a while, or kicking around ideas, but he canceled it because it was too similar to The Boys, which
Wow.
I want The Boys by Hideo Kojima.
I mean,
Absolutely.
why? It would be kind of amazing if instead of canceling that, he just was like,
Can I write
What
an
if
episode?
What if I or get the license to make the game? Either one of them,
yeah.
Because Hideo Kojima does need to direct a movie or something. Like
That would be nice.
Somebody's got to just give
At
him
some
a chance.
point,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if he wants to though. He prefers.
he could co-direct maybe.
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
totally.
Kojima and
Well, that's why
Miike
you
make
needed,
a film together.
That's why you needed Guillermo del Toro.
Oh,
right?
Jesus,
Because
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's really more about of course interactivity, but also community.
Yeah,
Right.
He
totally
he
is,
wants
yeah.
everybody, which is why we got what was the fucking bridges. Death Stranding,
Death
Stranding,
which
yeah.
is why Death Stranding was
Bridges,
set up the
whole
way that,
bridges over
you know
here.
what I'm saying?
All
Whole bridges.
digital bridges.
I mean, but that was the whole message of the game,
Right.
was,
Bridges.
You know, bridges, man. And it's funny, you know, if you play day one, you know, playing that game now is dramatically different than it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
It is. It's actually
originally.
way easier now.
Oh yeah, because of bridges.
You're like, oh shit, a rope. I need
yeah,
a rope.
that wasn't there before.
Cool.
That wasn't there. You were
You
out
had
there
to
on the
make your rope.
frontier.
That's
Yeah, man, it was crazy.
Back in my day in Death Stranding.
That's really funny, right? That's really funny. He
And
literally
walk uphill, both ways.
Both ways, yeah.
he literally
seriously,
made
yeah.
Death Stranding granddads, you know. About the bussy. Oh, he about that milk. You know what I'm saying? He loved that milk, man. You know, God.
That's such a creepy
Homelander
fucking
is really seriously one of the most terrifying characters I've ever seen in any
because he's
form of
the
media.
Superman we would actually get.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem.
Right.
Is that to try to say that some supreme being wouldn't be a complete fascist is being ridiculous.
Right. And then
of course
just-
they're
just,
going to
you
be.
know, just how mentally unstable he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How he
Mm-hmm.
needs for everyone to love him. If he
Complete
doesn't have
narcissist.
everyone's dude. If he doesn't have everyone's approval, somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way it goes.
Hey, I mean
And-
that's all the ancient stories, right? That's the way the gods are, right?
Yeah, that's
they're
absolutely.
fickle and narcissistic and will
Absolutely.
kill you for no reason. I
Yep.
love that scene when he's making the speech and he
Oh,
just imagines
just
lasering through
down
the whole crowd.
It's
It's just and then,
So
and then
well
it
done.
snaps back because you really think he did it for a second, there.
moment,
and then
yeah.
it comes right back and he's just sitting there sweating like, ooh.
Well, you just know that it's coming. You know that it's coming.
Gonna
and so,
happen eventually.
Yeah, man.
Man, but if Kojima just straight up made a game based on the boys and just got the license and then got the folks to do the voice acting or the character acting, because it
Yeah.
would be full on, you know?
Right.
What if you get to be Billy Butcher?
I want to be Frenchie.
You want to be
I want to be Frenchie.
Frenchie's
I want to be,
awesome.
you know,
Awesome.
only if I get like Kimiko as like a pet.
Seriously?
You know? Yeah. Let me like you control Frenchie and Kimiko.
Yeah.
That's how you just
That
work.
would
So
be
he's like telling her where to go,
You know?
and
Kinda
pulling off
like-
all the
kinda like
regular
Eco.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Except you don't
but
have to hold her hand.
but
She
it-
is
right.
She is sufficient.
well, but that's also the thing about the boys, right? There are no good characters.
Yeah.
Nobody's good. Except for
Everybody's a
Starlight, I
bastard.
guess, a little bit. But who gets to be the Deep? There's so much that I want to talk about from
His
this new
gills.
season, man. Oh god, that was so bad when she was like shoving her hands in it.
Oh,
gills.
that was bad.
Oh, it's brutal.
Anyway,
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be good.
Get me off of this topic because I really want to talk about the boys. I really.
Getting off
really.
them boys.
Oh, hey, speaking of the boys, the family.
the family.
He's not Aiden.
Got a Resident Evil PC patch.
Where are you?
He's there. You ready to see something wonderful?
Oh my god, dude.
Yes.
So there's a PC patch.
Well, yeah.
Well,
so,
PC, PS5.
Right.
Yeah,
we-
just
we
a patch
covered
in
this.
general.
Yeah, we covered this last week.
We covered it last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did a full upgrade patch, you know, and
For Resident Evil 7, 2, and 3.
and 3. Yeah. And I went ahead and bought 7 and 2 again because both of them are cheap physically.
You
know,
got them on PS4.
Yeah, on PS4.
PS4.
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly. Yeah. And it turns out that the PC upgrades are worse.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
They're actually
yeah.
degrading the quality,
Oh,
which doesn't make a
no.
whole lot of sense. I mean, they added the ray tracing support, and
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be the same ray tracing model that they're using for Village.
Yes.
So it should work fine. But I remember even when Village launched, like Digital Foundry was like, I mean, the ray tracing's fine, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's not
you know?
good. It's not really necessary, and
Yeah.
you only see it in like reflective floors every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not consistent,
Right.
Because they have a lot of baked-in lighting, and that lighting looks so good
Yeah.
that it's like don't really need.
I mean, playing the patch for 7, I noticed a difference.
yeah.
But it's not an extreme difference, you know? So I think that, like, weirdly enough, your hands are lit better. Like, it's the
Hey.
weirdest thing, but, like, Ethan's hands look way better now. And I'm
Well,
like, oh,
I mean, I
okay.
guess because they kind of perfected that with Village. You
Yeah.
know, like because his hands are Ethan.
Yeah, really,
You know,
yeah,
th-
that's
th-
all you
this-
are.
This
That's
is
all
hands,
you are.
Exactly.
You're just hands and molds.
hands and
What
molds,
does
moldy
hands
hands.
and molds?
That's what you are.
But a bunch of PC players are pissed because they were expecting an actual upgrade,
Uh-huh.
and it turns out that
It's
It's a
been-
degrade.
it chunked on performance.
performance.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
frame rates are shot. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, and so, and that's unfortunate,
They
man.
dropped
Like,
that ball
Uh-huh,
like
like-
RE verse.
That's funny. We're supposed to see that soon. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
That shit better be free as hell. That's all I'm saying.
It's interesting seeing Capcom make those kind of missteps.
I know. Yeah.
Because they could have easily just been like, okay, well, we're going to release a PS5 upgrade right now and then release a PC upgrade. Because, they had to know.
Yeah.
Either that or they're just using the ultimate, most high-end computers out there to test these things, but they had to know.
They had to know.
Yeah, totally, right? And so they really should have just delayed it. Could have just waited.
Even if they just delayed the PC patch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Like, put
Still
out
release
the
the
PS4,
console
PS5.
ones. Tell them it's coming. It's not perfect yet.
Exactly.
Then people will be like, yeah, okay, cool.
I wonder if that's because they are Microsoft. It may have been a Microsoft thing because they're homogenizing the Xbox and the PC library so much. I wonder if that's why they just went ahead and pushed it out for PC. But regardless of that fact, that they knew.
Yeah, they definitely knew that there were performance issues. Yeah. And I've also heard that 3 apparently has the best upgrade on the PS5. Like as far as the 3.
True. They do outsource.
They do outsource.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What if this actually isn't Capcom's fault?
Well, then play test, bitch.
Yeah. Come on, throw
Call
some more
us.
dollars. Yeah,
Call us. We'll play
do it.
test.
We'll
do it.
absolutely do it.
Straight up.
Man,
I've always wanted a paycheck signed by Capcom, dude. That's
dude.
That's one of the few things on my bucket list in my little life. One thing that I always want. I will work in the mailroom. I don't care. And I just want one paycheck,
I'll go
man.
mop a floor.
Straight up. I'll never cash it. I'm gonna frame that motherfucker. Put it on my wall. I've given them so much money.
Yeah.
Just give me $1.
Just
Just give me one. I want $1.
give me my dollars back, Capcom.
You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the fact, I mean, those 3 games are amazing. And of course, they'll be patched. They'll be fixed eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. The scene means so much, man. Really. And
He ain't eating.
He ain't eating. For real.
Dude,
He gets up and like stabs you in the mouth with a knife.
Oh, yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's mold. He'll grow back.
Yeah.
Ain't worried about it, Ethan.
Stapled your hand back on.
I can't wait to play that the Rose section. That shit's gonna be great. For Village. That's the dead guy. That's one of the
from sewer.
The sewer.
What is it called?
Gators. The sewer gators. Is that what it is? It's
swamp gators. Sewer gators.
Something.
Yeah. Well, that's not.
Anyway.
Is that Clancy? That can't be Clancy.
That's the one that got lost.
Oh,
like
the one that you found like all the way. He was like standing there doing the Blair Witch thing,
doing the Blair Witch thing. Yeah.
Huh. Why was he at the table?
I don't know.
I don't remember this. I remember him being there. I remember this whole image, but I don't remember him being at the table.
I agree with you on
now,
that.
Gam's over there.
Gam's over there.
So, no, that should have been, old girl was already gone.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a corpse being there.
I don't remember there being a corpse either.
I just remember the family.
Right.
Yeah. But we're getting a little
unless-
into the
Go
weeds
back
about
and
this
play it,
picture.
and
Right.
then you can figure it out.
It's not supposed to be Ethan, is it?
No, you're here.
Right. Well,
they're all looking at you.
Yeah,
You're
right.
Ethan.
Of course. But I don't know if they're looking at because this is not.
Hey, Trey,
like,
it ain't
from the
that
game.
deep.
I was about to say,
It
how
ain't that
important
deep.
is
Hey,
this?
it's very important to me. RE7 is a huge part of my life. I love that game.
But that was just a picture.
I know. I want to know.
It's just a
I want to know what love is.
fictional characters.
I want them to show me.
Fictional
Oh no,
characters.
man! No,
Fictional
they are real.
characters.
They have real estate in my brain.
So,
Speaking
first
of RE7.
picture of the PSVR 2
In
out
the wild.
In the wild, yeah,
Look
man.
at
We
that
actually
fresh
get
cable.
some photos of PSVR 2. So, as per PSVR Underground, they did an interview with some of the guys at Sony. Supposedly, it is going to be a Q1 2023 release. And so, but these dev kits, and that doesn't look like a dev kit. That
looks like final hardware.
Yeah, that looks retail. And she looks clean, man.
Well, maybe they are just making sure that they have the stock to not
course. That's the
completely
big problem.
fucking sell out. Yeah.
Right. That's the problem with all the problems just getting raw materials for these things.
And then getting enough PS5s in people's hands so that they actually can sell a amount of them. So maybe that's what they're doing, gearing up this year, making sure that this holiday season everybody can get a PS5. And then they'll release this right after it so people that want this can actually have both things.
They go ahead and get you to spend that Christmas money real
Hell
quick.
yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
So, I can't get it soon enough.
It looks fresh, dude. It looks fresh.
That thing is going to revolutionize gaming.
And I guarantee you that we're going to get a very similar situation with Resident Evil 4 VR on Quest on this thing, and
I think
that
it'll
will
be infinitely better.
well, of course,
And not only just from my hardware,
but it's only going to be.
I think a lot of that was like the Zuck just wanting it to come out as fast as possible.
Well,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
there
Like,
aren't a lot of issues with RE4 VR. Like, it's awesome.
Well, yeah, but
It's
the
amazing.
reason why I'm saying that is like it's not like they really innovated it or tried to change the game. It's like, okay, well, here's RE4, and here's some things you can do. But I think with RE8,
I mean, you
it's
can
gonna
move
be
and shoot at the same time. Like, it changes up the game.
Well, of course,
really,
as far as like interactivity and everything,
Yeah.
but it's still like when you look at it, it still looks dated. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
looks
it has
dated.
that. Yeah, it has that look.
Right, but if they just take what they've
I
already
think
made,
what they're gonna do with 7 is about to be, and with
I
4.
think because I think we're going to get 4, 7, and
And
Village
8.
all
Uh-huh.
at that quality of VR gameplay
Yes.
that we get from RE4 VR.
It's gonna be
Quest.
horrifying.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna
Yeah.
be so good.
It's
yeah,
gonna be so fucking.
yeah. Because
good.
aiming with your face is just not the best, man.
Right,
It's not
right.
the best.
Or just even
But
having to have a controller.
this
is kinda
might be
weird.
the entire reason why Resident Evil 7 VR never came out on PC is because Sony was like, you just wait a minute.
Well, I mean,
let
I
us
think- I
release
think
this, and then you can
also-
upgrade it.
I mean, yeah, but you're also having to put. I can't speak. You also have to plan for keyboard and mouse players, right?
Oh,
a lot of
sure,
PC
yeah.
gamers are playing with KB and M. All PS4 players are playing with the controller,
Yeah.
and playing with the controller is really kind of weird in VR. It's cool and it's acceptable, but
Yeah.
like due to the fact that all we had were the Move controllers,
Mm-hmm.
and PC VR actually has like knuckles and movement, I think it would have made the game feel worse. You'd be like,
yeah, I
I
agree.
have these
I totally
controllers,
agree.
but I don't have any control for these controllers, and
There's
that
a
just
lot
throws
of
the whole thing out
mods
of-
that I've played where you have to deal with that. You have to
Yeah.
play keyboard and mouse, or you have to play with a controller, and it
Yeah.
does. It feels cumbersome,
Right.
For some reason on the PC. Unless you're playing a game that's like third person or something,
Right,
because
yes.
then it just makes sense again. You're like, oh,
Exactly. Like Hitman does, which is really kind of lit. But I mean, just having like, what are you gonna do when Mia's coming at you trying to chainsaw your hand off? You know what I'm saying? You can actually independently move your hands. They're still gonna lock you into.
They're gonna lock you into an animation.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yep.
exactly
Yeah.
it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the DLC
Yeah, I didn't play everything though. I didn't play the one
with
the,
Jack's brother?
I didn't play that one.
Oh
no.
God, when you're suplexing
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
I didn't play that
You
one.
need to
and
play that.
And what's the other one? The Ethan Must Die thing? What's that one?
Ethan Must Die. Wasn't that just a mode?
Well, then what am I thinking of?
It's
Because
just
there's
a
I played the 21.
Oh, that was dope.
21's amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah. You're just
Yeah.
playing blackjack, but you're betting your fingers,
Mhm.
and so every
It's you
time you
versus
fuck
Clancy.
up, you got
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one's really
I saw you
good.
play that one.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. There's End of
Yeah.
Zoe.
I didn't play into Zoe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Zoe.
was really good.
Zoe.
End of Zoe. I think she's actually a Zoe.
She's a Zoe.
She's a Zoe, strangely
Okay.
enough.
Zone of Enders.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I can't wait for this thing. I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah.
If I could have it now.
would-
If I could
just
have it
know, once it releases,
Uh-huh.
get ready to get some information because
Yep.
we're gonna have it in space.
I also can't tell where the cable's coming from, so I don't know if they.
It looks like
fixed
they
that
may
or
have.
not.
Well, no,
No,
you can see it right there.
No, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's exactly where it was before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an odd placement.
They're still
man.
fucking up. They're still
Yeah.
fucking up. Fix that shit, Sony.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's a dumbass spot. I want headphones. I want good headphones. I don't want those little earbuds. I
Well,
want
I
to be able
mean,
to wear
I'm just gonna get
cans.
some mantises and call
Yeah.
it a day. You
Yeah.
know, the mantises actually affixed it. And looking at that band, my mantises might still work.
They probably will.
Yep.
Absolutely. Those things are pretty universal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Cells
So
of
Oh, the live letter.
loss and
Yeah.
fire and faith. So we had live letter 71. Jesus Christ. I was waiting for this thing to start. It started at like 6 o'clock in the morning and ran to like 8 a.m. I went to bed. But they did. They gave us a lot of information on, we have a new patch coming out on Tuesday. So that will be patch 6.18. That'll be adding data center travel, of course, and new data centers as well. They also released some information for 6.2, which we'll be seeing in late August. All right, they're going to be adding a lot of. It's coming up. It'll come up quick, man. We're adding a lot of content. Criterion dungeons. Those are dungeons with variable difficulty. So you will have like dungeons that
Like
you can run through.
banding?
Yes.
Oh.
So based on the number of people that go into them, it'll be difficult. The difficulty will be scaled. Some of them will be like very difficult to the point that if your raid wipes, then you got to start the whole thing all over. All the enemies respawn, et cetera, et cetera. You can go in with one to 4 people, which is really, really dope. They let us know more about that. They let us know more about the Adventures of Hildebrand. Apparently, that's where our new relic weapons will be locked behind, which means nothing to you. But
good stuff.
Well,
It's good stuff.
Hildebrand is always like the comedic side stories, right?
Oh, okay.
That have existed since A Realm Reborn. And, they've locked a couple of emotes behind them, like the Manderville Mambo, where you get a moonwalk and shit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
nice.
Shit's dope. But it was always just like comedic side content that you can it's just optional, right?
Yeah.
So now it's going to be required that everyone actually go through that in order
Right.
to get their relic weapons. All of the relics are basically like your highest end weapons, crazy effects coming off of them.
Yeah.
They usually require multiple stages, a fair amount of grinding just to level them up, rank them up.
Right.
And so this one's going to be weird because they're the Manderville weapons, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking weird. So
Yeah.
we're also going to get...
So they haven't shown a preview on any of that stuff yet?
No,
They just- okay.
no. They're going to let us speculate on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Let's
it can get
just
weird.
stew.
That's right.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Watch him square.
Yeah, because Daddy Godber's going to be over there working, so that's going to be sick. And so they also gave us a very brief glimpse at the map for Island Sanctuary.
Cool.
Yeah, right. And so, you have a massive island, and you can go out and actually hunt, gather, release your minions so they can run around. But you have to actually gather resources, take them back to your little farm or whatever, and plant things there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
So
And
silly.
so, yeah, right. That people are gonna play this game just to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just to do that. I'm never gonna see my fiance again. And so, but we got a lot of information in that live letter. I'm trying to think what else. Of course, they're adding new trials, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're also adding a new tribal set of quests, which are going to be the Omicrons. For those of you who have finished Endwalker, you will remember a very quiet and lonely bar that we worked around for a moment, and that it will be our new tribal area. So, for those who have not finished Endwalker, finish Endwalker. The fuck's wrong with you, dude?
Go to the moon.
Go to the
Go to the
moon.
moon.
Come on, guys. Go to the moon.
No, the moon.
Look, it's
Bam. Pow.
Go to the moon.
Right to
That's
the
what we
moon.
thought. Dude, that's so funny, man. That was such a bait and switch. They're like, yeah, you're gonna go to the moon. We're like, oh my god, we're going to the moon. And then by the end of it, it's like, fuck the moon, But those who know. All right.
Nice.
And so, I'm gonna get out of spoiler territory real quick.
What?
Even though at some point we got to be able to talk about it, but we'll get there.
Get there eventually.
Yeah. So
So-
these are going to be
This is exciting.
the free games
So
for
Crash
July.
Bandicoot 4.
It's
It's about time, which is phenomenal.
I bought this real cheap, and I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is.
It's very good.
It's amazing.
That's a really good
like,
game.
It really
That
is.
is
And then
I've
also
played
Man
it.
of Medan. Now, Man of Medan has been, this is one of the
It's a hit or
Dark
miss,
Pictures
right?
anthology. But it's because of its length. It's a very short game. I think it's only like 3 to 5 hours, maybe, tops.
And that's,
but it's always been pretty inexpensive.
What's the name of that company? Is it Supermassive? Is it what are they called? Is
It's Supermassive
It is
Games.
Supermassive.
Yes,
Yeah. So it's the
yes.
same people that did Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
Right.
Yes.
So a very character-driven horror experience with actual actors.
Well,
That's
more
the
like
way
an
to-
interactive movie.
It's more like an interactive movie.
Yeah.
That's
than anything
absolutely
else,
what it
you know?
is.
So
Yeah.
a
It's like
great-
a choose-your-own-adventure, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But sometimes your choices won't go the way you think they will.
Yeah, most of them don't actually.
Yeah,
Most of them are
exactly,
bad
exactly.
choices.
So this is a really cool idea because
Yeah.
the Dark Pictures anthology, they have 4 games now?
I think it's 4. Yeah.
And so this is a good little starting point for a lot of people who do like Until Dawn, right?
Yeah.
If you do like those Telltale games, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you're a fan of that style of game,
Yep.
then that's really exciting. Zero Strain, Arcade Geddon, these are both multiplayer games.
I don't know about either of those
yeah.
actually.
Nor I. And so we can try them. We'll see what's up. But those
Yeah.
first 2
Crash
are
and Dark Pictures
Yeah,
are solid.
that's a
Hell
win.
yeah.
absolute win.
It might not be AAA stuff, but it is definitely good stuff.
Absolutely.
I also
And
like
then-
it that I'm seeing PS5 logos on those. You know what I mean? We're actually getting the PS5 versions of multiple games rather than just one PS5 game and a bunch of PS4 games.
Well, you know what Sony's stating is that they're about to be at a point where they'll have enough PS5s for everybody. That's what they're like. It's
they're right there,
right there on the horizon.
And like we were saying, if
And
they
then
could
we
do
can
that
make
at
that
the end
push.
of the year, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we probably won't be seeing as many cross titles.
Exactly. Well, but I'd be so excited to just see more exclusively PS5 games.
Absolutely, stuff that's built from the ground up. Yeah,
That's what I want.
me too. Me too.
And so
man.
we'll get there. Also, Man of Medan, all those games, or Medan, however it goes, are great for gamers. Man of Medan. Oh, God, I'll never unhear that. But they're great games for people who don't play games. And so if you have like a significant other who, you want to get into gaming or have a good, you don't want to just sit there passively watching a show or whatever. It's like.
But Until Dawn will
throwing
get you
something
involved.
Like that, it will. It will.
What do I do? And I don't know. We got to decide right now.
Exactly. And so if you want a good date night, those are good things to do.
Totally.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally recommend that.
Yeah. Unlike Catherine, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Do not do that.
Because they're all wrong choices in Catherine for your relationship,
Exactly.
not for the
They're
game.
right choices if you're alone. They are terrible choices if they're right next to you.
Catherine gets you fucked up.
arguments.
That's what I'm Yeah, that's right.
Right?
A lot of arguments.
Yep.
I
Go
love
ahead and start
the puzzle
packing up.
sections of Catherine, though.
Oh,
the
yeah.
puzzle
Absolutely.
section.
You remember the one with the
So good.
baby when she was trying to force him into having a kid, right? So he had that PT. Yeah, dude, that baby's climbing up.
It kind of reminds me of what's that movie, Eraserhead?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what the story is. It's a whole bunch of Eraserhead.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say everyone play Catherine. I just can't say I suggest that you play it with your significant other.
No. Okay. So
Something's up.
Where- something,
doing
something,
something.
something.
What are they doing?
Okay, well, we had two Nintendo things.
you got
right?
two Nintendo things.
Okay, so the easiest one to start with is going to be we have a Nintendo fan who actually bought 100 shares of Nintendo stock
Yeah.
just so he could go to a shareholders meeting.
And ask
Why are there no F-Zeros?
Why aren't they making any more F-Zeros?
Why are there 0 F-Zeros right now?
Yeah.
You know,
And
why
they're
are
like
you failing?
And Nintendo's
and
like,
giving
it's
me
in the
0.
title.
Yeah, of course, that's the whole thing, man. They give him a little bullshit answer. Just like,
yeah.
we
Yeah,
got a lot of IPs. And we just
Well, we're
wanna-"
always looking to, expand on our sequels, and sometimes it's just really hard,
Yeah.
So basically,
This is an easy one to make another of, man. You
Yeah.
guys made
I
so many
mean,
Mario
all you gotta
Karts.
do is
Make
remake
another
GX.
F-Zero.
Just
I was
remake
about to
GX
say,
and
or
call it a
just-
day.
Seriously.
or just
yeah.
just put GX out.
Dude, if
so
they put
people can
GX
fucking play
with a
it.
widescreen patch,
Yeah.
and they don't even have to touch
roll
the
back.
graphics. Dude, that rollback netcode. Actually,
That
I'm
might
just
not be
saying,
a bad idea.
because that's what would once again. I think that if they focused on like an online aspect for F-Zero, all of a sudden there
F-Zero
would be,
GX
it would be
online
alive.
would be
Yeah.
It would be
a winner.
alive, man.
You don't even have to make it look better.
Yeah,
It's
it would be
fine.
the exact same game.
It's fine.
It would be so
But-
easy, and there's so many tracks on there.
Yeah,
too.
this
It's so many
guy,
man.
he spent over 40,000 yen
Yes.
to get 100
What's
stocks.
that, like $10?
I don't know the
Damn,
exchange
that's
rate.
savage. I think it's like 3,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
But regardless,
Yeah,
regardless,
just so he
spent
could
just enough so he'd be invited to the shareholders meeting, and then he
To
could
ask him
ask that
about-
question.
Yeah,
You know?
be like,
hey,
yo.
I respect that, dude. He ended up selling off stocks he had in another company,
Right.
And he sold all those off just to buy stocks in Nintendo, just to ask this question.
Hell
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I respect the hell
yeah.
out of that.
Yeah.
I respect it, dude. You know, if you got the money for it, be like, I'm sick of losing sleep
Yeah.
over wondering why there's no F-Zero.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sick of wondering and getting excited every time you say you have a Nintendo Direct.
And I never see
and
Samurai
I never
Goro
see-
pop up.
Not
right.
one time. Not one time. You're like, oh, Captain Falcon. Like, oh, shit, here we go.
And then it's
Smash
Smash.
Brothers.
Smash,
Like,
man.
oh, you know what I'm saying? You showed me Big Blue.
Yeah, you showed it.
You know, like, come on. And so yeah, there's that aspect. Now the other piece of information is while we're talking about shareholders, a lot of people have been looking into Nintendo's spending, and apparently they're spending a lot of money on raw materials right now. A lot. They spent last time they did this was back in 2019.
So you mean like coal and lumber and
Yes,
Yeah.
that's literally
textiles?
It. Textiles.
That's
yes.
the other.
Yeah, literally it. Of course, chips. Plastics, buttons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And last time they did this was before the OLED came out, right? Like right before they announced that.
But you said this is
so
way bigger spending.
It's twice. It's double what they spent back in 2019,
Ooh,
and that's
yeah.
what it's at currently. And so they're still actively spending a lot of money on raw materials, which could really only mean one thing.
Well,
you know?
so here's the question. Is it a Switch upgrade or is it a new console? That's really
It
the
could
only
be
thing.
either or.
It really could.
It really
be
could.
an either or
It
at
really
this
could.
point.
I feel like what would be wise, but it doesn't matter because it's Nintendo and they're going to do whatever the fuck they
That's
want.
right. Nintendo gonna Nintendo.
They're
right?
gonna Nintendo, boy. They're gonna Nintendo. It'd be wise for them to offer a Switch Pro. Now the problem is that that could easily split that market. Which is the last thing that you want to do.
Right.
But
Because they did that with the
also-
3DS.
Oh yeah.
The
they
new
did,
3DS,
yeah.
a handful of games wouldn't run
Wouldn't
at all
run
on the
on
old
the
one.
But that
old
lets you know that Nintendo will do that.
They
thing.
will.
They
Yeah,
will do
yeah.
that thing. But at least some of the games from your old library will still work.
Oh yeah, Nintendo's real quick to be like, oh shit, we don't need this anymore.
Right.
Saw that off.
Exactly.
I'm just.
and in order for them to release a brand new console, they have to have a brand new gimmick.
Yep.
That's how Nintendo works. And so right now, I don't
And
think
what
they
would the
have.
gimmick be?
What
Oh,
could they
God.
gimmick
What could-
this time?
Smell-o-vision.
Oh.
You
Right,
can
yeah.
finally
Oh
smell it.
Lord.
Nah, man, I don't
thank
think
you.
they're there. I don't think they're there. I think
They're
that the
not.
Switch is still going so strong and it's selling so incredibly well that the smartest thing to do would be to have that Switch Pro. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
you have to, at some point, you can only rest on your laurels for so long.
But having 60 frames patches for a lot of the older games,
Exactly.
having simple stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo will do the smart thing and make it an upgrade path where this stuff just works.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they will do
absolutely.
that.
Exactly. But they're also going to charge you like $300 for it.
Absolutely.
At least.
At least.
At
You
least.
know what I mean? I could see a $400 Switch that rivals the Steam Deck right now because the
Right.
Steam
Yeah.
Deck base price is $400, and they're like, fuck that. We're gonna make something that's as powerful as that, but
Right.
in the Nintendo ecosystem, which means that they'll have their own, special software layers because they do a really good job of getting all the performance they can out of their shit, right?
They do.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
if you had a Switch that was as powerful as a Steam Deck, you'd be seeing some amazing shit
Yeah,
from
they'd be, able to,
Nintendo.
they'd be able to do a lot.
Which,
and once
remember,
upon a time,
there was that-
people,
There was that
sorry, go
Breath of
ahead.
the Wild 2 trailer where we were
Yeah.
like, this doesn't look like it's on a Switch.
Right.
This looks a little bit too good.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So maybe they already have
because
this,
they
you
know they played Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they know, and they know that right now, there's always, it's all about buzzwords when it comes to consoles, when it comes to a new generation. That's what it's all about.
4K.
Well,
Man,
exactly.
I got 8K on that box in there on the PS5. I ain't seen none 8Ks.
Well, you ain't gonna see none because
No
8K.
8Ks.
We're gonna skip 8K. Dude.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
go
skip
straight
clean
over
over it.
Going to
and
10K,
that won't
baby.
be
12.
Yeah, probably
12K.
12, 16. But it's not gonna be. That's not gonna be the. We'll probably have a new unit of measurement.
Oh, yeah,
but
at that
right
point.
now, the buzzword is frame rate.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's what people care about right now.
Do you think they do like a high frame rate display, like 120 hertz display? Because that'd be some
I
shit.
could totally see
Because
that.
imagine playing like older Nintendo games that already run at 60 at 120, like
look.
new Super Mario or 3D World, Super Mario 3D World at
Yeah.
120 would be. Ooh,
Look, Nintendo
gorgeous, dude.
were once upon a time were always the kings of frame rate.
really,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The GameCube.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
it's steady.
what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of those games, even if texturally they weren't as good as the competition, they still looked
Yeah.
very,
Oh,
very
Yeah,
good.
isn't that
looked
weird?
great.
For some reason, textures weren't as good because
Right.
of their texture compression because they had the small discs, right? But they had better geometry and
Yes.
better frame
Better
rate
frame
than
rate.
almost everything, including Xbox games.
Looking
Yeah.
at like the 3 versions of Soul Calibur that came out.
Yeah, dude.
The, the GameCube version of Soul Calibur was gorgeous.
gorgeous, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like those edges look so much crisper and cleaner. Those colors are so much more vibrant and brighter.
The Xbox was a little
kinda
grittier.
gritty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
and the
That's-
PS2 version.
It-
we don't talk about that one.
We don't talk
Boy,
about
that
that
one was rough.
It's
boy.
like, do you remember when Need for Speed Underground was coming out? You like look at the Xbox version, like, oh my god, this looks great. You look at the GameCube version, like, yeah, nice and smooth. The lighting's not quite as good, and then the PS2 one looks like a fucking slideshow.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, man, let's get that out of here. And so yeah, man, I think that we will see a Nintendo Switch Pro at some point,
and I'll buy it.
I could see an announcement happening by the end of the year.
That'll get me to upgrade.
That will get me to buy one.
Yeah.
That will get me to actually buy one. Because
Yes.
at that point, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, there's all of these games I've been wanting to play.
And now there's also room for growth.
And now there's, now we're going somewhere. I'm not buying a console at the end of its life. You know what I mean? Because you having a Switch for a while, like it's not a big deal. You already have this thing.
Yeah,
but if you're getting into buying a Switch today,
Right.
it seems like you're on the precipice of it dying.
decline.
Yeah, it's like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you can get Monster Hunter Rise on your PC anyway.
Well, yep.
Yeah. And so we'll see. And of course, once we know, you will know.
That's right.
Because we're the ones that bring you the news. So like, share, subscribe.
That's right.
Jutsu.
News jutsu. Every week. Next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
I was just staring at the F-Zero logo
Yeah.
because of how beautiful it was. I was like, I don't want to change.
Absolutely.
So Lena Headey was
I thought we were
supposed to
dropping
be
this.
in. Oh, we were.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
I'm dropping it.
whatever.
I'm dropping it on the
I just
fans.
feel like,
That's
I feel
what
like
do.
we're just giving her a light little seasoning, a little saute, a little roast.
I like her. I think she's
love
amazing.
Her. I love her.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
So
understand
she
this.
was supposed to be in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
And then whoever she was supposed to play got cut.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
now Disney is suing her.
Well, it's not
Right.
Disney directly. It's I forgot the name of the studio. That's why
It's Taika's studio.
No, it's another company. That's why I wasn't prepared for this one. Anyway,
Okay.
We were ready.
well, I said it. I was like, we can just drop that, and they said,
Well,
no,
we can
son.
scoot on past it.
They
This
said,
happened, and you can look it
it's
up.
already
happened.
here. Yeah, definitely check it out. So basically, she has terrible
Do your own
agents.
research.
Oh,
She has
yeah.
terrible agents, and so
Yeah.
she was supposed to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. She ended up getting cut. Now the issue comes with the studio that she was working with said that she owed them for this project and a couple of other projects $500,000 in royalties. All right, she denies this. She's like, no, I never signed any contracts.
Right.
You know, the only agreements that I had were just verbal agreements, which, I mean, those are also legally binding. So it's kind of interesting that she said that. But yeah, that's her deal. But they're suing her for like $1.25 million. You know, and so poor baby's just like, well, you don't fucking want me. You know, and they're like,
Shame.
because you're Cersei.
Shame.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like,
shame.
fuck
That's
Cersei
why.
Lannister.
God.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, look up the article. It's just an interesting little tidbit that I didn't even know she was going to be in Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
And now I'm disappointed that she's not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
I want to see her in more shit.
Absolutely. Oh, she's a phenomenal actress.
Totally.
You know, even though I do think that she's one of those actresses that unfortunately
It's super
had
typecast.
such a fucking right. Because, I mean, she really did perform ridiculously well as Cersei Lannister,
Well,
right?
also, I mean, even before that,
Uh-huh.
her as Leonidas' wife.
Yes,
in,
absolutely.
in 300,
In
dude.
300,
Because that's
yeah.
a similar character, like for real.
Yes.
You know, she plays the same fucking badass.
You would not
basic-
enjoy this.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, dude, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
You come back on your shield, or you come back holding it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd just like
Yeah.
to see Lena in more stuff. That's all I'm saying.
I would
Yeah,
too.
so this kind of
She's
disappoints
phenomenal.
me because she would have been awesome in that universe. I think she works in the Thor vein of things.
Oh,
you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Who knows who she would have been? I don't know.
Right.
She would have been
Somebody
mean.
badass.
Yeah,
That's
she
who-
would have been mean.
Yeah.
I bet she would have been.
She would have been
real
frowning
mean.
a bunch, you know,
Uh-huh.
which
Oh, yeah.
is funny because she's totally one of those people that when you see her not, you know, in a movie, she's so happy.
Oh, of course.
she's so
It's
fucking happy.
acting,
Right.
you know. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like she only
She
smiles
turns that
if someone's
fucking
getting
frown.
decapitated.
Right.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. All of her smiles have shitty undertones.
Absolutely.
Like, it's always the
Yep.
most.
Yeah, it's always a problem.
It's always a problem.
Anyway, so what's EA done now? Under fire for making fun of single player
Yeah, I
games.
mean, this was actually a long time ago that they said this comment.
Right,
They were
yeah.
basically like,
Fuck.
nobody plays single player games
Yeah, I
anymore.
mean,
which
that's-
is why they weren't investing in any
This
in
isn't
any
news,
single
this
player
is old.
experiences.
Well,
Yeah,
Well, their whole thing was like, hey, you know, this guy would be a 10 out of 10 except for he plays single player games, right?
Oh.
And so they do believe that live service titles are the best because
Well, of
it
course.
makes them more money. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
makes them more money.
that's what they're alluding to
really what it
and
is.
I think that sometimes these companies forget themselves, and they really think that they have more control over and more sway over people's opinions than they do. And it's like, no, it's your software. It's not your ideologies. You know what I'm saying? That's not what that's not your strength here. And so when they said that, because this is also the same studio that has Jedi Fallen Order, so it's like, what are you talking about?
Which is one of the best single-player games to come out of the Star Wars franchise in, I don't know, 15 years.
Right. So I'm like, dude, you're just once again just putting yourself in the line of fire. And so of course a lot of people took to Twitter and they're just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, just
y'all are being stupid. Stop being stupid.
Yeah. Stop making these comments and these presumptuous
but
comments.
It is
And then
EA.
of
They
course,
just can't help it.
well, and then they tried to backtrack and they're just like, well, okay, well, we'll take this L. That's what they said. They said we'll hold this L, but actually, if he likes single player games, that makes him an 11 out of 10. And it's like,
What?
Just don't
Stop.
Y'all just made it worse.
Stop, man.
You don't have to do this to yourself.
Whoever's making those comments, take his phone
they should have
away.
been like.
Just
They shouldn't have been like.
Give me your phone.
We meant. Here's a new trailer for Jedi Fallen Order 2.
And
And then everybody be
Jedi
like,
Survivor?
"Hey, we love you."
Misdirection.
That's
Whatever.
right.
EA's been garbage for a while. So
I mean, but Fallen Order's this shit, and that's
Yeah,
one of the
exactly.
biggest single player things that they've done. So they're like, kind of, making fun of their own creations.
Themselves. Exactly.
Like,
What they're trying to do is just gear
Yeah.
people up, steer them towards. No, you want live service. You don't want single player content anymore.
No. I mean,
you know?
we can have both, motherfucker.
Yeah,
we can have
dude, I
both.
don't
Yeah,
know.
some people do like live service,
Yeah.
but
Right,
Squadrons was
some
great,
people.
and it wasn't a live service
Exactly,
game.
and that's why
Yeah.
it's funny, man. I often ponder why Squadrons didn't get more attention and didn't get more content. But then at the same time, I'm happy that it didn't because they would have just ruined it.
They would have just ruined it.
Over
I think
time,
it
they
was
would
in
just-
its perfect little bubble right there.
And they're like, we're just going to release this as it is, and that's all it's going to be.
And then they
And
give
everybody's
you
like, no, let's get a little bit more. They're like, okay, you can have
Well,
a
here's
little bit
a
more. Here's a
B-wing.
B-wing. It's like, okay, thank you.
Have a
Can we have some
B-wing.
more? No. It's like, okay. All right.
fine.
Hey, here's a racing mode in practice. How about that? It's like,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. They
Yeah.
did that.
And so, but they're also on the auction block, so we may see a shift in EA at some point if somebody chooses to pay the exorbitant amount of money that they're going to want to sell this company.
I don't know that I care about a shift in EA, but I do care about a shift in Star Wars games. That's what
anybody can
is
make a
more.
Star Wars game
Now they
Right.
can.
Yeah,
which
so
is
that
great.
That part's fun.
And I'm about it. Yeah,
You know?
because
well,
like
I
for
don't
instance,
know, dude. I want to shift it with EA, man. They have a lot of like I want them to pump some lifeblood back into Criterion. I want to one day
yeah,
hopefully
that's
see
the
another
stuff that I
burnout. I want
completely
to see
forgot about because
right,
they've abandoned it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. No, there's so much in their portfolio.
There is,
that is
yeah.
just amazing, but they don't care about it because it's not Madden, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Which didn't they just lose that license, the NFL license?
I think they lost the NFL
right.
license. Yeah,
So that's why they're trying to sell.
EA,
That's why
EA
they
is
want to
fucked
sell.
right now, man.
There it is. Oh no, it was FIFA. It's FIFA that they
oh, yeah.
lost.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's
it was
FIFA. Yeah. A
yeah.
different football.
Yeah, I like that. Not football American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football.
Yes, dude. But I mean, that's why they want to sell.
Yeah.
They can't give them Insta bucks, boy.
Bucks, boy.
So new skate. This is not from the
Yeah.
new skate, but I actually couldn't
So
find
we're
a
on to
good picture. but
trailers.
Are we?
Um,
yeah. Okay. So trailers.
It's called Skate.
Here we go.
Still working on it.
Nah,
It's a
dude,
trailer
it's-
that's out.
That's the
Yeah,
trailer.
it's
That's the
funny.
trailer?
It's
Yeah.
so funny. You see
'Cause-
him like glitching out,
Yeah.
and then like nothing's like textures or
Yep.
shaded. It's just.
At one
And
point,
there's
they're
a-
just raining down skaters.
no, they're
just
down a
dying.
yeah,
They're just dying.
It's just like a wall with all these. It's like a climbing wall with all these different ramps on them, and they're just dropping skaters from the sky and just seeing how the physics work. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are getting a new skate. That's basically what they're letting us know.
But we don't know what it's
Still-
really called yet.
No.
They're just saying Skate right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd probably be. It'd be smart for them to just rebrand and call
Just
it.
it's
call it
just Skate. Yeah.
That'd be real smart.
But how many times are we going to do this over, all these different properties? And I don't even mean just with games, where you just name something the same thing that it was named however many years ago, and then when you go search for it, it takes you forever to find the thing because there's this many versions that are named the same goddamn thing.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna be Skate 2023.
Yeah,
You
that's
know, it's
what
like,
you have to do, right? Yeah, you gotta
it's
look up what
like
the year.
whatever
yeah.
the property is, then the
Especially
year.
because most of these things are designed to be live services,
Right.
and so it's like it's gonna be Skate Immortal.
Oh,
You know,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Skate Infinity.
Uh-huh.
Right.
endless ramps. You know,
But it looks really cool. And when they showed the fully graphics version.
Yeah,
which
the
probably
beginning
isn't
of
final.
the beginning of
No.
the trailer looks horrible because they're
Yeah.
basically showing you how difficult it is
Oh, yeah.
to make a game like this.
Right.
They're adding parkour elements, wall running. You know what I'm saying? Like you can
Yeah.
actually like climb, hand over like monkey bar climb. Like it's gonna be
it's
weird.
Gonna have some jet set in
Which
it. Huh?
the last time we tried that was in Tony Hawk.
Right.
Was that Tony Hawk Underground?
It was one of the, I think it was one of the underground.
Yeah. And
I
that
don't even remember
It's
that
like
one.
the
It
last
wasn't the best.
It was
It
You know,
wasn't
it
the
had
best.
this
It
like
was-
open world element.
Yeah.
You could actually run off your skateboard
Mhm.
and like
Oh, wow! I don't
Yeah,
remember this.
yeah,
at
because
all.
you had
and
a
shit,
you had a like a neighborhood where there are all these other skaters that you could
Yeah.
like interact with, whatever. Remember, my character's name was Marissa Delmira, and she was a beast, boy. Street skater, what's up? But I mean, seriously, check out this trailer because like they are trying some really ambitious things. They're basically just admitting that hey, this is hard.
Yeah.
This is very, very difficult, but here's what we're going for, and what they're going for looks really good, and we'll see how they
Yeah,
actually
it
pull
does. It does. The stuff that's more complete in this trailer, it actually does look like they're, it's going to be a fun game.
Right.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I am wondering about that control scheme because I never played the older skates. So
Yeah.
this whole dual
It's gonna be
thing.
weird. It's actually very difficult to kind of acclimate to. But I mean, it works.
I'm just
And
used to Tony Hawk push X a bunch.
Right.
absolutely, especially with the re-release. I think a lot of people are just like, no, man, why don't I just press left and X?
Right.
And it's fine. But no. So yeah, check this trailer out. Skate looking skatey.
Looking skatey. I'm excited for this.
Well,
this
you
game,
can
watching this trailer
lose your
made
lady
me,
a second time.
Yeah,
know, right?
watching this trailer made me hate the fact that I just got a Rune Factory game because it's like literally, it's just like this is basically. It looks like it's basically going to be the same gameplay that RPG, but with like life sim, farming sim kind of shit.
Farming, fishing,
Yeah,
and
fishing,
I mean,
and
honestly,
just all the stuff. So
the
it's
game
all
is
the same stuff, and
gorgeous.
it
It's very,
looks
very
so
gorgeous. Yeah,
fucking
I love the art
good.
style.
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks great.
So this is Square Enix firing on all cylinders, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I think we're seeing a release date in, is it October?
Yeah,
I think it's like
yeah.
October 2nd for
It's this year.
Harvestella.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. This is day one purchase for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, this.
I just can't have two life ruining farm simulators. I mean, I can't handle two of them. So now my question is, well, do I hold on to Rune Factory for later, or do I just trade it in and say, well, that was a fun experiment?
Okay, so it will be on Steam.
Oh
Good,
yeah.
good.
I think it's
Okay.
across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
When?
I thought it was Steam and Switch.
It's Steam, Switch. I know it's on.
It's
yeah.
Steam and Switch, bro.
Really? No,
Yeah, it's
because
PC
I
and
saw
Switch.
a PS5 and an Xbox logo on
Harvestella
that
comes
trailer.
to PC and Nintendo Switch on November 4th, 2022. I never saw a PlayStation logo or an Xbox logo for this one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw one on the trailer. Okay,
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
No, they're like, screw y'all.
Yeah, pretty much.
But but that's the thing. Square Enix
why don't you
and
go play your
Nintendo.
shooter games over there?
I know, right?
Okay.
Go play your Halo beta. You know what I'm saying? But Nintendo and Square Enix have always had a really good relationship.
Well,
and
Well, not always.
Not
There was
always.
that
not
little
always.
gap
There
of
was
time.
a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You are right. But for the greater portion
Right,
of
well,
our
they're getting
lifetimes.
friendly.
They
again.
made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
totally
made
made
up.
up.
They definitely.
did
They
a
made
little-
up because the Switch started selling
That's
real
right.
fucking well.
And Square Enix gave him a smooch.
Well, I
It's
guess
like,
that was
can
a
we
lot of
start
that problem
putting
was
games
like
on
Final Fantasy VII. It's
Right.
like, yeah,
That's it.
we getting this Sony money, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
And, Nintendo's
Disc drive, boys.
because Nintendo is really salty about that anyway
Oh, dude,
because
Nintendo
Sony
holds
was supposed to have made the
grudges.
disc. The PlayStation was supposed to have been a Nintendo add-on.
Right.
It was supposed to have been a disc drive add-on, but they couldn't come to grips with couldn't come to agreements, and so Sony's like, "Fuck you, we'll make our own console."
Yeah.
And look where we're at. They're like Final Fantasy VII. It's all these discs. And I'm like, fuck discs. We'll never use discs. We'll use GD-ROM.
We're gonna make sure that our cartridges are shitty compared to your disc right now, so that you can have an inferior version of Resident Evil 2.
But this looks good. Harvestella.
Yeah,
Looks
check out this
great.
trailer. Like it
Absolutely.
looks sick. It looks really good.
And then Star Ocean: The Divine Force. So we got some information about this in one of the PlayStation events a while back. Is that right?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it looked cool. I mean, it's new Star Ocean. If
It
you like the
looks
Star
great.
Ocean thing,
Yeah.
this looks like more of it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Again, I love the art style for this. I love the way it looks.
I do too.
It's got a thing.
I think that it looks great until you get to
The gameplay?
the player models. I think it's their faces. Once you get to their faces, it seems like they just forgot to animate them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, totally.
And so I can't tell how much of that is because it's a trailer, or how much of that is them trying to still have kind of a retro look to it. You know, like it's hard to really
get
tell.
them 2-frame animations for the mouth. And
yeah,
shit.
you know, kind of like what they do with the Tales series. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, they always look like they're you know kind of a little dated.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's kind of by design. You know, and so but for
Yeah.
the most part, the game is beautiful.
Yeah, because they pump them Tales games out like every other year. So.
I mean that's true, but still, you can. That's on your animators, man. It's like, it ain't
they got
expensive.
plugins for that.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Just use Blender, bro. You're fine. But no, I mean, if you love Star Ocean, then hey, boom.
More Star Ocean.
You know, it does
That's
look
what I'm saying.
beautiful. It does look beautiful.
She's looking shockingly like Griffith right there, which is
she's looking like Saber, bro.
never liking.
She does look like Saber.
Griffith hybrid right here.
That's
That's
exactly
exactly
what
Yeah. That's not good.
That's
That's
not
not
good.
good. That's
No.
not good. Don't even bring that into existence.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, no.
I literally just destroyed an alternate reality. Like it's gone.
Well, no, Griffith.
Well,
Saber
Griffith
destroyed. Yeah,
Destroyed it.
that's what happened. You didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
They did.
But yeah.
Yeah,
power of
Phobia.
creation.
So this is looking cool.
Yeah, it actually is, man.
Phobia, yeah.
And
So
so-
is this a PC exclusive?
Yes.
Well, PC,
it's a
PlayStation, I mean?
PlayStation
Yeah, that's what I meant to
exclusive,
say,
yes. And so, and it just released.
Yeah.
And so, I might check this one out.
I didn't look at how much it is.
My guess is going to be $39.99.
About 39.
I'm gonna see if I'm right or wrong.
five.
But this is a
five.
It's full fives.
It's
But
full
this
fives.
is there's a rock band named Phobia, spelled exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So this is a survival horror game. Let's see what the price is. But it's like at certain points of it, it kind of gives me vibes of like
Fatal Frame.
a little bit. You
Yeah,
know, it looks like there are FPS elements as well.
Some PT-ness going on.
yeah,
Some. I wouldn't say Silent Hill. Maybe what am I thinking of? Alone in the Dark kind of vibes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of that direction. Amazon's saying $29.99. Bam, I'm really good at this.
6.5s.
6.5. And then it's actually on sale on Steam right now, and sitting at a 9 out of 10.
Hey.
Yeah, it's on sale.
Might
for
be worth
$26.99.
looking
Okay.
into.
If you're into horror stuff, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
this sounds like a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy to see horror games, making a comeback.
Totally. Yeah.
You know, like we need more
Dude,
of them.
I can't wait to see Ill once it's actually complete. That game looks just.
Does it look
Ill.
ill?
Oh, it looks ill. It looks fucking ill, yo.
Dude, I got a friend that works
This
with me,
game
man.
illin'.
And his daughter, she's great. She's like the Punisher. She like beat up some boy at her school
the Punisher.
because she went over and kicked him in the balls because he was like, he called one of her friends stupid. He had fallen down. Her friend saw him on the ground, went over, and she was going to help him up. And he was like, "Help me up, you idiot." And she ran off crying. And then my friend's daughter saw this, found out what happened, and went over and just wham. I'm just like,
damn.
justice. I don't promote violence in most cases, but justice. Anyway, he's got her programmed to, if you ever say, "What time is it?" she will begrudgingly. I mean, she'll be like, "It's time to get ill."
Oh my god.
He did. He told me. He was like, "Hey man," he's like, "Go ask her what time it is."
Oh,
I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, yeah. He's like, "Go say what time is it?" And I was just like, "Okay, man."
right.
And I walked over there. I was like, "Hey, what time is it?" And she's like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's
It's like,
great.
"It's time to get ill."
Oh
I was
man.
like, "Yes."
Oh my god.
It's so
love it.
good. It's
Love
so good. Yeah. Anyway, check out Phobia.
The trailer. Pac-Man World Repack.
Repack.
I hate that title.
I hate that title
but
so
I bet
much.
this is
know.
going to be cool.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I bet it's gonna
well,
be fun.
Well, like I played this
Yeah.
one on PS1.
Yeah.
I didn't remember it was on PS1. I really thought it was a PS2
Well,
game.
that's because there were like 8 million Pac-Man games that came out for PS1.
Shit.
dude.
Right,
They hit
right.
They hit the pavement hard.
They
with
really did.
Yeah.
But I remember this being a decent game back in the day.
Yeah.
And
Decent
looking at
little
this trailer, I'm
platformer.
like, yeah, it looks like a good platformer.
Yeah,
you know?
that was the problem, is that there were way too many platformers. You had
That's the-
Spyro
Yeah,
over there.
well, because everybody
wrecking
jumped.
shop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, jumped on that 3D platformer.
Well, it was
Croc. We had
Yeah.
fucking,
Captain Blaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
goddamn.
You know what I'm saying?
Pull out the deep cuts on them. Huh?
Damn.
Like
Yeah.
them, you know what I'm saying?
Blasto.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, because of course, with 3D being the big push, like,
Dude,
what else are you
yeah,
gonna
the
do,
big
you know?
thing, and then again, Super Mario 64 coming
Proved
out
that you can do it.
Proved that you
Yeah.
could actually do it
Yeah.
and
Right.
do it well. So then it was just like, well, fuck, everybody jump on the
Remember Vex?
next thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
Vex. Totally.
was lit.
Vex was
Lynx-
rad.
Lynx the
Yeah.
cat, man.
Uh-huh.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love a good action or 3D platform.
Yeah,
Man, this
absolutely.
isn't 3D, but it was still one of my favorite early PlayStation games. Toomba.
Toomba is
Toomba's
amazing.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Toomba
that's
is the
really, really
That's the
good.
same director that did Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That's that guy.
Cool.
Because after he left Capcom, he made his own little studio. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they got a little metal Pac-Man statue that you can get with it.
Oh
with,
my
like, a
God, it
little
looks
giant-
so good.
It
Look up
looks
the collector's
great.
edition for this
Yeah.
game, guys.
Yeah.
It looks
It's like
Way
a
more
big
than I
metal
wanna spend
Pac-Man
for it,
with
yeah.
like 4 ghosts all around him. Their eyes light up.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks
Uh-huh.
dope.
I mean, it's slick.
It's not $120 dope.
yeah,
But it's
Right.
dope.
But it's dope.
But-
Well,
yeah.
it might be $120
To
dope
somebody.
to you.
To somebody,
right?
yeah.
Right. So
But
go check it out. though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also,
Absolutely.
watch the trailer. So Persona collection, the
Mm-hmm.
Persona series, I guess that's what they're calling it. What they're saying is that each of these games are going to come out independently, right?
Yes.
So when I first saw this, I was really expecting a collection, like an actual
Right,
here's
yeah.
all the Persona games, and then I realized, oh no, they're
No,
just
it's
saying
not.
they're coming out to
Yeah.
newer stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't see any PlayStations on any of this, so they're doing that. Looks like Atlas is, but again, PC is winning.
Right.
Notice the funny little trend here. It doesn't matter what console it comes out on. It's coming out on PC.
Yeah,
Everything's coming out on PC. So maybe Robbie had a point, right?
I mean, I think in some regards, but I mean, we've had P5
Yeah,
forever.
we
so
have.
that doesn't
Right.
really matter.
Golden
P4,
and
Golden and
3
P-
though.
yeah, those are the
solid.
ones that
yeah.
I'm,
And if you're a Persona fan, I mean, they're good games. I'm just disappointed that they don't have 1 and 2.
Right.
I don't understand
well,
why
they
they
don't
wouldn't.
ever show any love to one. and
They
two,
don't.
man.
They act
really
like they don't exist. Yeah. And they're just
and
as
it's
good.
probably one of those things where it's just like it's just so old. Well, shit. I mean, you got a lot of companies now that just lose the source code.
Oh my God.
You
Oh,
know?
God,
you're-
Ninja Gaiden.
Just all the fucking time.
Yeah, that was a.
Why don't you
intentional
re-release
loss right
this?
there.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
want to have a
Sabotage.
Silent Hill HD on our hands. That's why.
Oh Jesus, yeah, without fog and Silent
Fuck.
Hill 2. Yeah, but these will probably be perfectly fine on release.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
if you like Persona, go grab it. Royal is the edition of Persona 5 to play.
Absolutely.
I
I do like Persona 5. I've never
Joker.
played any of the other ones, so I'm actually really excited to kind of try these out.
I played through Persona 3.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. And I got Persona 4 and I started it and never got
I
into
can't
it.
see myself finishing a Persona game.
I agree.
at
I agree with
all.
you. Man.
They are
yeah.
pretty-
Just I don't have the time.
Yeah.
You
Right,
know,
yeah.
like it would have to be like that's the
What is it?
anime
The
series. I'm
Twilight
watching
Room,
for-
is that what it is?
the Velvet.
The
Room.
Velvet Room.
Welcome to the
Velvet
Velvet
Room.
Room. You know,
That
now I'll play some.
little
I'll play some
gremlin fucking
P4A.
game.
I
Oh, I
wish
still
y'all
need to
would
grab that.
get
Yeah.
P4A too. We should jam in on that.
Absolutely.
P4AU rather. But yes, I mean I just can't because there's just so much dialogue and it's all very good.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
music's
it's
amazing.
solid. Yeah.
The aesthetic
the music's
is
so good. Yeah.
phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
That art direction is just phenomenal. But it's just so much.
It's
You're
a
talking
lot.
about like, hey
It
man,
is a
you
lot.
got 300 hours. I'm like,
It's
I don't.
It's literally like taking classes. It's
Yeah,
honestly,
like,
yeah,
this-
yeah.
Do you want to
You know?
have an entire high school semester
Uh-huh.
in a game?
Yeah, and I've already screwed up and started playing Sunbreak, not Sunbreak, but Monster Hunter Rise, and then
Right.
Final Fantasy 14. I'm like, I don't have the time.
That's right. That's right, man.
You know, but if you're a Persona fan, you are in luck.
Right.
Heck yeah.
And we don't have release dates on 3 and 4, but they'll be coming.
Mm-hmm. They're on the way.
They'll be coming. Yeah. So this is a new Kunio-kun game set
And it
in
looks
in
hot.
Sengoku period Japan.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it looks so good.
I need it now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I need
absolutely.
it right now.
Right
It
now.
looks amazing.
The art style looks exactly like Kunio-kun with the treatment of the way they're doing the Final Fantasy throwback shit.
Yeah.
So it's like if you take that good old classic, River City look, and then you
Give
just apply it to 3D
kind
graphics.
of like
diorama.
diorama
Yeah.
style
Yeah.
graphics.
I made
yeah.
a diarrhea.
Yeah. Diarrhea. Cha cha cha. Man, have you heard? Seriously, man, people are saying that Beavis and Butthead do the universe is good, man. I don't know.
We'll do the universe at some point.
Yeah,
We will.
yeah.
Is that one on
I
like
I want an
Paramount
opinion.
Plus or
Of
some
course
shit?
it fucking
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still gotta
Yeah.
watch Do America. I've never seen.
You've never seen that?
We might just have to find it with.
Have you heard the
alternate
soundtrack?
situation.
Oh, I mean, I know about
you
the
never saw
soundtrack.
Do America?
No.
Wow, that's worth talking
Whoa.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Man, I
Why?
love that shit with those.
It's amazing.
The
It was
old,
everywhere.
The
That
old
movie was
guys that I'm not
huge.
going to talk about who they are, but
Yeah.
they're like, you remember those sluts? Yeah, there's a sluts. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it's fucking. I mean, it's cringy 90s
yeah,
shit. But at the
Uh-huh.
same time, it's really good. Also, there's an animated sequence by Rob Zombie in it.
Yes.
And that's really the thing that always sticks out in my brain, and I'm asking this about.
I think about I
universe.
Got You, Babe.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think about that.
Yeah.
But that soundtrack is phenomenal.
Kunio-kun, Sengoku period. Need
Yeah.
it right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Read this and type it into your browser, and then
Exactly.
find the trailer.
Well,
because, I don't know what this game's actually called, so
Yeah, 'cause
it is a
everything
Kunio-kun
yeah,
game, though.
everything's in kanji.
Yeah,
That's right.
You should be able to go to Kunio-kun. I think it's just kunio-kun.com, and that's
Yeah.
where all of the Kunio-kun games
Yeah.
are. And so,
Still looking forward to
Kunio-kun
River
dot
City Girls
kun.
2. Can't wait for that
Kunio-kun.
one. Oh my god.
yeah, but it looks lit. Just do a search for Kunio-kun, you'll find it.
Yep.
Yeah, eventually.
Uh-huh. Yeah, eventually.
Last thing, Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope.
Sparks of Hope.
Kind of looks hot.
Yeah, I played the first one and it wasn't like hooked at all. Like I played through a good bit.
And just to let you guys know, this is like the
It's
XCOM.
Mario RTS.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well, it's turn-based strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn-based. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
essentially Mario XCOM.
Mario Tactics.
Yeah, Mario Tactics.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah, I played the first one when it came out, and it didn't really hook me. I don't know what it was about it that it just I don't know. It just didn't grab me. But
Also
this
know what you would
looks
expect
really
from
good.
a Mario game, you know?
Oh,
It's like
dude,
when
it
you-
came out of nowhere. They
Yeah.
had to have
Uh-huh.
lost a bet.
Right.
You know, Ubisoft won, you know. Anyways, but they're changing up a little bit of the gameplay. It looks like the big thing that they were showing off in the trailer is that instead of having a set squares that you can move with, you actually get to free roam within a certain area of the character.
It's like you get movement points. That's
Right,
like
right.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But there'll be like, secrets and collectibles and like, while you're
Different
moving
weapons
around,
and things
different
while you're-
weapons
yeah, on
and
the
stuff, and like,
battlefield.
that you can like, and like maybe even you can, if an enemy's in your area, you can maybe take them out real quick before you have to do your like
Yeah.
shoot action.
Well,
so
and-
it like
yeah,
adds another
and,
level of strategy to
like
that. To
hiding
the gameplay.
behind like different elements like
Right,
like
yeah.
rock formations or whatever
yeah.
to break line of sight, and some characters of course can throw things over that, but
Right,
if
yeah.
certain characters only shoot directly in front of them, then you'll
or-
be safe from their attacks. Like it does look very interesting if you like those tactics
Absolutely.
styles of
Yeah.
gameplay.
So I'll definitely be. I hope there's a demo, but I'll definitely be trying this out either way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Now for the big topic.
Well, before we get into that,
Uh-huh.
why don't we try our little where,
what are
where
we
is it?
doing? Oh, what
Where
are
is
we
it?
trying?
Well,
I didn't know we
I'm
had a
gonna,
thing.
Do a 60-second ad and be right back.
We will be right
All
back.
right, we're gonna take a
guys.
quick break. We will be
Yep.
right back,
Indeed.
guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60.
Later.
Did you cue music?
Did you?
Never mind. Well, I think I'm fine. This is gonna be a scramble. Oh, I guess it will. Oh, these boys. Shink. Oh man. What time is
So
it?
how do we know if it's over?
Well, does it not give us a little clock down there? What would it say on the icon?
I don't know. I ran the fuck out.
Is that not it right there?
Yeah.
What does that do? What does it say?
You recently ran an ad. You must wait to run another. That's all it says.
Oh, it's a timer. That means that we are more than likely back. If I had to guess. Hey, do y'all see us?
Let us know.
This is our first time using the little ad timer there.
Yeah, never tried it before.
Yeah. Just testing the waters.
Maybe it worked. I got a new button. I wanted to push it. You got to push all the buttons. You have to try
push
them.
all
right?
the buttons. Let's see. I'll pop on Twitch as well.
Did Scott go get a drink? What do you do?
I don't know what he did, man. Everybody got too excited. Yeah, we're here. Wait, they're making me watch the ad. Hey, wait. What? Why do I have to watch the ad, man?
You're here.
Right.
Like, you're serving an ad to yourself at this
yeah.
point. This is good. Yeah.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I am actually a part of the stream.
Damn, Scott.
I know, right?
We said 60, dog.
Uh-huh.
That was a long 60, Scott.
Mhm.
Look, dude. I mean, positions were taken, and I didn't want to stand out.
It's okay.
In
You
the
can stop.
open.
You can stop it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay,
Anyway.
we're back.
All right, we are back.
Anyway,
Now on to the main topic.
thank you for the patience, everyone.
You're all.
Arr, arr, arr.
Ruh, ruh, ruh.
Ruh, ruh, ruh.
Ruh, ruh, ruh,
Yeah.
ruh, ruh, ruh.
Okay.
Um,
This is this what Bollywood is
This-
like all
no.
the time?
Have you,
No.
yeah, have you
Okay.
watched it? That's what I was going to ask. Have you watched any Bollywood movies? Have you guys
No.
watched any really?
this is not a Bollywood movie.
Is it
Well,
not?
no,
Okay.
but it
No,
has
it's-
elements.
it's-
It has
no,
elements.
no.
Does it not?
No, it definitely has elements.
Hold on. Let me just say my thing.
I'm letting you tell.
Bollywood is all based on film coming out of Mali directly, which also was known as Bombay, which is why the name Bollywood exists. They have Bollywood. This is actually Tollywood. All right.
okay.
So I mean, there's like a slew of the different woods per
Oh,
se.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? There are tons of them.
Bollywood's
this is
the only one I've
Tollywood,
ever heard
but
of.
most Western
Yeah.
audiences, that's what we assume, right?
Right.
That's the first thing when we see bright colors, we see dances, we see
Yeah, there's musical
music.
numbers.
The dance
Yeah.
sequences.
Right,
Specifically for me.
But that would be like us calling any movie that came out a Hollywood movie, right? It's like it's not.
But people do that.
But they're also still wrong. You know, like a Netflix film
I mean,
is
saying
not
something.
a Hollywood.
But, well, sure,
but this is also
I
much
guess
more cultural
that's
versus
why I'm saying.
America.
I guess that's why I'm
Right.
saying it's similar, not it is a Bollywood movie. I'm
Right,
saying
right.
similar.
It would be similar
Yeah.
to us, but if you were talking
Yeah.
to somebody from India, absolutely not. You know, those are very different things because those markets are in direct competition with one another. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
And so, but Tollywood has taken over as the #1 industry in India. Bollywood used to have that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but now this is the second highest grossing Indian movie. No, it's the first highest grossing Indian movie of all time. It's the
Wow.
second highest grossing Indian movie globally.
Wow.
Yes,
okay,
yes. RRR. I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys. Well, I guess I'm going to hear what you
Yep.
guys think about it. But it's a sensation for India
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
awesome.
Yeah.
absolute. It's a huge deal. Just having the two main characters on a screen together, which is why they ended up keeping the name RRR. Because, like I said, it was basically based off of the two main actors. Because in India, it's kind of like it used to be here with Schwarzenegger. You know, with the way that it wasn't really even about the movie so much.
You were
it was
going to
about the
see
movie
this
star.
guy.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, it still works that way for them. And people were like, "Oh my God, this could never happen," because no studio could afford both of those guys at the same time.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is the first
Oh,
time
I got
that
you.
they've been able to actually just put
Yeah.
them both together. And
Yeah.
so, which is why they ended up keeping the name of RRR, which is both of the actors and then the director.
Yeah.
It's like when they made Heat, where they're like, we got De Niro and we got Pacino.
and
Yeah.
Scorsese.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm
Scorsese.
saying? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's literally that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally
really,
that.
I know.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And so, so that's to
Okay.
start this off. So it's a Tollywood movie set in 1920s in India during the British occupation, British, soldiers, British governments.
Being
come get the-
imperialist bastards.
Yeah,
being the most bastard of. Yes.
They showed that map at that one point where it had the British flag over everything that they, like that whole top section of Africa, and and then I was looking over there, I was like, Canada.
Yeah, man. So the British are coming through. British white folks coming through, fucking India up, fucking the people up,
being terrible,
being
terrible bastards,
being the worst.
Oh God,
absolutely, being the most racist.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really enjoy.
Always the worst.
Like the intro section pretty much sets up the tone for the English folks.
As soon as that shit happened, I was just like,
oh
great.
God,
I
see what's going on.
I guess white people have just always been the worst.
I'm
right.
just saying, globally speaking, this kind of shit been happening for a long time.
I still got to mostly blame it on the British, though. I'm going to put all of it on the British.
I think it's their fault. There are too many white people. There's
so many different countries. Like, dude, the Netherlands leaves shit alone.
Absolutely.
They're not doing anything.
That's
all right?
right.
But England over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And where do you think we learned how to be bastards from? From England.
We were the worst bastards. They just didn't want us around. It's like, God,
look, we're bastards, but y'all are like,
y'all gotta go. We're independent. They're like, fine.
Take it.
Stay over there.
Yeah, and so, but this is a story of a village that was, pretty much taken over, right? You have Beam, your main character, who is a part of the Beam people. That's his tribe. Yeah. And the British people end up taking a girl by the name of Molly.
Yeah.
Taking her away from her village
and they make it seem like her mother is being tipped because the kid drew a beautiful henna on her and then sang a song.
Right. Well, okay, hold on. Brief intro before we go into spoiler cast, because I personally think that everyone should watch this movie.
Absolutely.
I feel like if you don't, I think that you are actively choosing to live a worse life. I feel like
I do not feel the same way.
I 100% do.
Okay.
I 100% do. I think that this is one of the best films that I've seen. It's definitely the best film I've seen all year.
Wow, really?
It blew my mind.
It blew my
I
fucking
was
mind.
not expecting just the links that they went to for the absurdity, especially in the
it is very
action
absurd.
scene, and I don't know, man.
It's like 3 movies, right? It's like an action movie, it's a rom-com, it is a buddy film, and
absolutely.
it is the absolute best.
It's
like
kind of a
top
revenge
tier
movie
of all.
It's a revenge,
It's that too,
kind of, you know.
But they do all these things so expertly. Look. I was an hour in, okay? And I didn't even realize I was an hour in. I was already smiling. And it's when we get to,
dude,
that's going to be spoiler.
I was almost laughing the entire time.
Me too.
Not because shit was funny, but
yeah.
because I couldn't handle what the awesome was.
It was
coming
amazing.
in my
It was
eye.
so amazing.
It's just like, I don't know how to
beautiful.
react.
It's so beautifully shot as well.
Gorgeous.
But I was an hour in, and I realized, because it is a long movie. It's 3 hours. It's the best 3 hours that you'll ever spend, however, okay?
Yeah.
But I was an hour in. I realized I had 2 hours left to go, and I was like, fuck yeah. That never happens. I was like, I got 2 more hours of this? Let's go.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Oh,
and
dude,
so,
and they just keep topping themselves.
Absolutely, the whole movie.
They did
and
raise the stakes every time, didn't they?
Every single time.
They kept raising the bar.
And it does. It goes from it starts off and it is brutal. Okay, so basically this British family did take the little girl and whatever. And this is just, once again, before we go into spoilers, they take the little girl. However, the village has a warrior that if, the village is like a flock of sheep. If they lose one of their flock, then they will go out and find them. They'll go to any lengths in order to find that flock. The member of that flock. Shepherd's coming, right? So that is the basis for this movie. There's also another character that Beam is going out to find.
Inciting events or whatever.
Right. And so Beam is going out to find the girl, but there's also another, he's part of the same tribe.
Yeah, so
it's not like,
right. They're not like blood relatives, but they're part of the same tribe. But while this is all happening, there is another Indian guy, a main character, gentleman, who is
Traitor.
part of the British Army, and he's trying to rise up in the ranks of the British Army. Okay, and so
that's why he has such a professional mustache.
Right, it's the
that
most
mustache
professional.
is
It's the
dude.
most
but
professional mustache.
It is so the whole
Give Idris Elba a run for his money.
Seriously.
absolutely, and so you end up with a film where they end up crossing paths, and even though they're on opposing sides, they don't know that,
Right.
but they end up becoming the best of friends, and then the story takes us where it takes us,
'Cause what
and
is
it takes us there.
The
And
guy
so
who's in the army is
let's not go into
okay.
spoilers right now.
Well, it's not
this is
spoilers.
just okay. Cool.
This is what this is how they
Introduce him?
He's looking for Bean.
Well,
Like so,
yes. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, like I said,
but he doesn't know he is the person that he's looking for.
Let's
Well, no, but he's
leave
not the
this-
guy he's looking for.
No, he's not looking for Beam.
No.
Anyway,
no.
let's
That's another dude on the piece of paper.
Let's just do this thing so we can make this easy.
Yeah.
If you are interested in watching this movie, just pause it here.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, just go check it out. It's on Netflix. Definitely watch this movie, and then come back and watch the rest of this cast.
So make sure you
'Cause-
like, share, subscribe too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, do all the good stuff.
Follow
But
us on-
definitely go
follow us here.
and watch that shit. Well, they'll come back and see the rest of the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but gloves off. Now we
Gloves
can talk.
off. Spoiler cast.
All right, this is your last chance. 3, 2, 1, game on. All right.
Why did
Boy.
that made me think of
Man.
Mark vs. Capcom 2.
Dude.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
No, I think 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
But is that what it
No,
says?
no, you're thinking about Cowboy Bebop.
No,
Marvel.
3, 2, 1, let's jam is Cowboy
Cowboy
Bebop.
Bebop.
But it's like 3, 2, 1, let's
Nah,
go.
dude, no.
Nah,
there's no-
all I'm thinking
there's no
about the fucking
words.
horns,
No,
okay?
that's That's
all
and
I
I
care about.
want you to
No, that's not that one. No, I'm talking about at the beginning, the attract mode, where it's got all the. Never mind, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
the
don't
movie
know
we're
what to say.
talking
Yeah,
about.
there's a movie.
I think we
Let's-
have the.
we're done,
We
we're
got,
done,
We got
we're done,
3, 2, 1,
we're
let's
done,
jam. We
we're
also
done.
have 3, 2, 1, make some noise.
No, it's not
Everybody
that.
who
It's not
listens
that.
to Naruto. That's Naruto.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Bob.
this movie's really fucking
It's
good.
really
guys.
fucking good,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. Oh my god.
Dude, okay. All right, so off the rip. Okay, so you have her making the Hinata, because we got to get through this in a reasonable manner.
Yeah, we
it's,
cannot explain this.
we're
whole
not.
movie.
We're not
It
gonna be able to
so
go
much
beat by beat.
happens.
It's a 3-hour
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Like,
Okay, so
Well,
we start off with some
It's
beautiful
such a short,
singing.
even in short amounts of time in this movie,
A
there's
lot happens.
so much
Uh-huh.
because there were times where I was just like, man, this movie, I know it's a long movie, but it's got to be almost over. I click it and it's like maybe a quarter of the way done. I was like, jeez.
Like, geez, but every
But it's like-
minute is just like so fucking raw. And so they, so we start off in the Beam Village, and the governor, the British governor's wife, is getting her hand painted with a henna tattoo by a little girl. Her name is Molly. Okay. Now the whole time Molly's painting her hand, Molly's fine and she's singing the song.
Yeah.
She should be coddled in
that
her mother's lap
You
all
wouldn't
day.
think
Oh,
that
yeah.
anything is
Except
going to
for
happen.
if you look around at all the adults,
Oh.
they're all a little on edge.
Uh-huh.
You know,
They
they don't
sure
know.
are.
Yeah, they're nervous, man. They don't know what the hell's going on. Little girl's just like, waving to her mom, you know, and singing her song. Governess is sitting there,
and
just
they're all
I
looking like,
love
yo,
this
these
shit.
are wolves.
Exactly,
All right.
exactly. And so she paints her the hand. Governor shows up. She's like,
He's got a deer.
Governess.
Apparently, he's been hunting
Uh-huh.
or whatever.
Oh,
Slams
yeah.
it on the ground. Governess brings the little girl over to him. She's just like, I want this mounted on our wall.
She said no. She's like she
what?
shows her
Yeah.
shows him the henna tattoo, and he's like, "Oh, who's the artist?"
Yeah.
And he's looking around, and she's like, "Oh, this one right here." He's like, "Oh, that little whelp," you know. She's like,
Yeah.
"Yes, I want her on our mantelpiece."
I want her on our mantelpiece. That's
Uh-huh.
what she said.
Yeah,
I
and
want,
so-
or she doesn't even say her. She says, I want this on our mantelpiece.
Right, exactly.
It's like
Like
dehumanizing
dehumanizing her completely. Yeah.
from the get-go.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's, ugh.
Yeah, and so old Pockets McGee over there, they're I don't want to call him a butler because whatever, henchman,
Yeah.
ends up just throwing down a couple of coins under the ground in front of the girl's mother. And so the girl's mom is just like looking at the money, she didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
And another guy's like, well, he's he's nervous
tipping.
as well,
Yeah.
but he's like he just wants to tip you for the song.
Yeah,
You know, they're just
that's
giving
all it
you know
is. Yeah.
exactly. So she picks up the money and says thank you very much to the governor and the governess, and of course they take Molly away.
Yeah, they start
You
walking
know?
her to the car, and then everybody realizes what's happening, and Mama freaks the fuck
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And they
She
get in their car and they start driving the fuck off.
Yeah.
And Mama runs after that car, starts banging on the windows, starts pushing against the tires themselves,
yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
stop the car.
Absolutely.
And of course, one of the guards comes up and he's about to shoot her in the back of the head until the governor stops him and says, "Hey, do you know how much that bullet cost?" You know, that bullet, by the time it got across the pond to here, it was made by English hands, you know, with English steel. And by the time it got here, it cost £1. All right. This Indian garbage, this brown scum, is not worth that. Find another way.
Wow.
And so the guy goes and gets a log, you know, hits her over the back of the head. Boom.
I wasn't expecting this movie to
go there that quick.
It
got there real quick.
All the way
like,
dark.
all the way. It's just like that was probably the first mouth agape movie.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
And there are like 1,000
Hey,
of
they
them
just- they
throughout
don't
the
stop,
fucking-
man. They don't
Jesus,
stop.
man. But so that sets up our antagonist and one of our protagonists, and then after that it jumps to the guy who's in the army. Rom.
Rom
yeah,
is
Rom.
his name.
Yeah. And
Who
he's
basically becomes a god at the
basically
end.
there's this
Insurrection.
outpost
Oh, yeah,
or
go ahead.
whatever that's kind of being swarmed by this big mob, and you just got all these soldiers just kind of standing there.
And
Yeah,
they're in
they
they're in a
had-
gate.
they're in a
like
gate,
a fenced-in
yeah.
area.
What they had done, they had taken one of the revolutionaries, the Indian revolutionaries, because this is all historical fiction, but Ram and Beam are like revolutionaries in Indian lore.
Yeah.
But they just kind of took their own, you know, fictitious, you know,
Of
course, yeah.
put their own spin on shit. But Ram was at this outpost, and they had taken somebody hostage. Now, in their mind, they didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? But they took this guy.
I don't know
and
what.
the people
I don't
weren't-
know why they're rioting.
Exactly. I don't know why they're so upset. They're everywhere. We just took one of their people prisoner, and you know. So I'm talking about a giant mob. I wish we had visual aids because that thing was surrounded by walls.
I mean, it
of
looked like
people.
a Lord of the Rings battle scene where you're like,
Absolutely.
this is whoa, just as far as the eye can see.
That's,
People,
Yes.
you know,
That's too many people.
it's a lot.
And of course, all the fences are starting to cave in and everything because they're pushing up against it. And there's one guy who ends up, you know, slinging insults at the commander. That's
Well,
in the
he
outpost.
throws a fucking rock.
Yeah, he threw a rock.
And he
Yeah.
hit the picture of
and
the
he hit
king.
the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it hit the picture of the king. That falls down, and he's like, "I want that guy." You know, I want him. Bring him to me. Now that's when we get to meet Ram, and
yeah.
Ram
And
is
Rom's
one
been
of the-
standing there with his Tom Selleck, looking all fierce.
Oh, dude, looking fierce.
Just like,
You know what I'm saying? And the second he hears that, he's like, bet.
Leaps over the fence.
Yes.
Into the crowd and just starts doing work.
Just starts
Man,
doing work.
oh,
He's got his collie
God.
stick. I forgot the name of the
Yeah, I
stick.
forget
they
what they're
call it.
called, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I write that down?
Billy Club. Or
No,
something?
that's not-
no,
it's
there's
a different
another-
thing, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. There's another name for it, but he's going wait.
yeah, because I
it's
can't
a
remember.
Lothi. It's a Lothi.
Lothi, because those are really cool fight stuff. It's a lot
Yeah.
like Sinawali with a single stick.
Exactly, with a
Yeah.
single stick.
Yeah.
And he is, and I'm talking about, it's a mob.
This whole
It is
crowd
a
of
mob.
people are trying to like
And
get
they're all his people too, right?
Yeah.
So they're all calling him a traitor
yeah.
the whole time. But he is handling work. At one point, there's like, and I don't know if you guys have, if anybody's ever like been to a festival or
Yeah.
you know, one of
Like,
those
kinda
situations where there are
swarmed in
so
a
many
pit and
people
shit,
that you
yeah.
couldn't fall down if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
At one point, they give you the long shot, and he's just being pushed in
Yeah.
one direction, and then another, just by this ocean of bodies, man. And at one point, he's like so covered up, you know, they're piling up on top of him, and he just starts poking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, I was like, are you serious right now? Like, he just starts doing work,
Dude, I
and
was
he
screaming
does.
the whole time.
It was
dude,
insane
that
because you get to
fucking
a point
scene,
where the
like,
guy,
oh,
that
shit.
threw the rock, at first was just like,
Man,
whatever, man.
But then
you can't
he
get
starts,
to me. And then the dude, Rom starts getting to him.
Yeah, and he's like,
And
oh,
he's like,
shit.
oh shit. Starts trying to run away.
Yeah.
You know, gets to a wall. And well, he was screwed.
Yeah.
You know? And so
he got him. He got him in a headlock. He took him back through the crowd, which has kind of thinned at that point because they're like,
he's been
okay,
beating the fuck out of
That's
everybody, and
right,
everybody's
yeah.
like, "This guy's too much."
I don't want to get sticked
You know
up.
that one part where he like slings the guy down, the guy's on the ground, and he picks him up by his arm, and he like
Oh, dude.
spins him around,
Yeah,
and like
dude.
puts him back in a headlock, and he's beating people up with the
Yep.
sticks. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's just
Jesus Christ.
It's like a very violent dance.
Yes,
you know,
well,
a lot and
yeah.
a lot of this.
The
the
choreography
fighting.
does really carry this movie the whole way, though.
Absolutely,
Be honest with you.
100%. But he takes him back, throws him on the ground in front of the dude, and then just goes right back standing
to his stance.
Yeah,
Well,
right
he went and poured the water. He got the
Right,
water.
right,
immersed
right, of
himself
course.
in the
Well, I
water,
mean, he-
and then
Yeah, but
needed
then
to
everybody starts
refresh.
backing up from that fence.
That's
They're all
right.
just like they're putting their shit down. They're like,
he
whatever.
completely
We're
broke
getting outta here.
everyone's spirit. You know, one man, and the commander was just like,
One mustache
yeah,
broke everyone's
broke
spirit.
everyone's spirit, and he did. The commander was just like, I fear that man the most. You know, like and so
For good reason.
And they ended up promoting 3 people. After that, you know, you hear all these people getting promotions within the British Army, and he was skipped. They didn't promote him, and he was very, very upset. And so we get to see a scene of him
Montage.
training in a training room. You know, getting out a lot of that fury and that
he
frustration.
Is, that poor punching bag.
Oh,
is-
God.
Which when they we kind of didn't mention this, is that when they show him at first, they show fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay, you get the first R
First
come
R.
up, and that's
Fire.
the first act is called
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Yes, because that is very important because the second act. Yes, and so that is at the point that we get the second act,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
it.
water.
Which is water. That's the whole reason I was bringing it up.
Yes,
exactly.
that's very
Yeah.
important, very very important. Which is funny because none of these things
And
are
you
what
don't.
the
They
title
don't mean
means.
anything at the
They don't.
first either. When you
They
first see
don't
them, you're
really.
like, cool, fire, water, and then later you're like,
What's the other
oh.
R? Then 40 minutes in when they finally drop that shit on us, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh my God, this is what we're going for? Like, all right, you told me the movie just started?
So the water section is what we saw in that trailer that you showed us
Yeah.
from because it starts out with Beam
Right.
in the jungle.
Okay, so this
looking
is
fierce.
where we actually meet Beam. We
This-
have not
yeah.
seen
That
Beam
actually-
before that. Before this, it's
Yeah.
only been the Beam
because he wasn't even
tribe.
in the group of at the beginning.
No, he's out training. He's
Yeah, he's-
always training
He's
just
out
in case.
fucking up tigers.
Just
That's
in
what
case
he's
he's
doing.
got to go do some shit. And so, yeah.
I love it because he's supposed to be I guess he's supposed to be like he's trying to catch a wolf.
Right.
Well,
But-
before we
Right.
go,
I was a
hold on,
little
before we go too
confused on
far-
exactly what
Before
was-
we go too far, at
Yeah.
the end of Fire, they have one of the Indian people meeting with the governor and telling him, like, hey, I would just want you to know that we should probably, everybody says, all of our officials, everybody thinks that we should give the girl back to the tribe. And they're like, why would we do that? And he's like, well, there's a shepherd, you know, this tribe is very close knit, and you know they're like sheep. If one of them goes missing, it wounds all their people.
And so the shepherd
and
brings
there's a
them back.
shepherd, and the shepherd's going to come.
He's like, the
you know?
shepherd's coming.
He's coming, and they're like, yeah, fuck
Shepherd
that.
coming.
Whatever, man. We ain't worried about that. And it's like, nah, man,
like,
nah, bro.
you don't
like he's coming,
understand.
right? So
Like-
fire is representative of Ram, and then we get water, which starts off in the jungle with Beam. All right, swole up, jacked. Dude's running through the jungle, and he is running from a wolf. Right? Runs from the wolf. While he's running, he looks down and he sees a track in the ground of a giant paw, and he's like, oh fuck. Starts looking around. There's a tiger
it is.
somewhere. There's a tiger.
And there it is. And it just comes the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then he does that fucking Matrix shit.
Yeah, for real, and rams the tiger into the wolf. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, what the fuck? So, of course, the tiger and the wolf end up in a conflict, which is another really cool thing we'll end up discussing a little bit later about this movie. Is sometimes the action is going in so many different directions at one time.
Yeah.
You know, this wolf and this tiger, they got a conflict, but the tiger just wants to get back to chasing Beam.
Yeah.
So he's got to handle business with the wolf while it's immediate, scares the wolf off, whatever, and then goes straight after Beam.
Yep.
You
and
know?
they keep showing those dudes hiding out in the trees, and they're not really showing you what's going
Yeah, and
on.
that's,
Right.
That's what's funny is what I was gonna get to is like those dudes are looking down. It's like, oh, that ain't a wolf.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, but he's handling it down there, and he ends up getting backed into a corner, and he has to confront the tiger.
Yeah.
He's up
Yeah.
hitting it in the face with a rock.
Yeah.
Yes, he just turns around and just wow.
Oh well, what was it? Because it was like a green.
Oh, that's at the very end.
something.
That's at the very end of the
Okay,
fight. Yeah,
yeah.
because the tiger
That's
ends up
right.
running into the
And they-
trap with the two guys, and he tells them to
Oh,
to
yeah,
drop
yeah,
the
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and then the net comes up, and the tiger gets caught up in the net.
Yeah.
and he starts backing up to right where the tiger can't get him. And then
yeah,
at that
just
point,
barely.
there's the pin that's behind him that's
Oh,
holding the
yeah,
net.
and he ends up
that's coming
holding
out
them
of the
together.
right, dude. That because that shit's epic
Oh,
when
yeah,
he's when he's trying to put and he starts
hold.
starts putting them hooks together. And
Yeah.
everything. But when he first gets it, the tiger rushes at him, so it extends him, pulls him forward, and then the tiger slashes his chest.
Yeah,
And then he just
keeps holding on, baby.
it shows that one part where it's like the back of his calf all flexing all hard. And he's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
and then he
he's so
connects
close.
him up. And then as soon as he connects him up, the fucking rope breaks.
It breaks.
And then and so at that point, that's when he like signals to the dude, and they throw him a poison pot or whatever, sleepy time green stuff, and then he throws it at the tiger's face, makes his nose all green, and then tiger's just going like.
Well, the tiger was fighting him. It was fighting him hard for a while, but he has to. It takes time for the whatever it is to go into effect.
Yeah, but he does the smartest thing, which is to get really close to him.
And the tiger just slumps on. Big sleepy boy. This night.
And he apologizes to the tiger immediately. Yeah. He's like, you know, brother. He's like, I am sorry, but I will use you for my purpose. And at first, I thought that he was gonna skin him and make some armor or some shit. Or make some,
we'll get to that.
They're collecting animals. That's what they're doing.
So,
shit.
I don't. We're gonna be here forever if we try to go point by point.
Exactly,
but I do want to point out one of the best action scenes that I have seen. This movie has several that I would classify as some of the best action that I've seen all year. We're on the bridge, boy.
Okay.
And that little choo-choo coming by, and that oil starts.
There are British trains, of course, delivering supplies to the British outposts. And when you see where the British people like live, it's like lavish as fuck.
Oh yeah.
These giant.
It's a big house.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right?
I love it when Beam first sees the lady.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We got to get to Jenny because that's actually a major plot.
Yeah, Jenny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's funny as fuck.
But this is where fire and water meet.
Right.
And so the train was coming across the bridge.
Oh, wow, that actually makes sense.
They throw it on us the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Is that where they meet each other?
Yeah,
yes.
that's where they
first
meet.
because like there's the train is about to wreck. What
happens is the train is transporting some form of oil
and
or
it's
something,
leaking.
and it's leaking,
Yes.
and sparks from the tracks light it on fire, and that's when it explodes
And
and,
it
starts
blows up the
falling.
bridge.
And there's the
into-
little fisherman boy.
And
And there's the
that's
little
in there.
boy
in the
that's
water,
underneath.
in the little kayak.
And Beam sees the little boy
Who's
and
trapped
it's like,
in a ring of fire.
yeah, pretty
like
much.
you
And
do.
so he's just like, I need a rope or
now
something.
Beam
you
at
know?
this point is looking for Molly, so he's
Yeah.
on another mission completely. But he sees this happening to this little boy, and he's just like, nobody's trying to move to save
and
him.
Ram is on top of the bridge.
And then they start making hand signals.
Yeah, that's right. They just
Right.
make eye
Ram
contact.
is
Hey.
on top of the bridge, and he sees the situation, and they see that they're the only two that actually want to try to do something.
Right.
You know, and once they recognize that, it's like instant recognition within each other's eyes. They start making those hand signals, man.
right.
Ram was on, well, he's military trained, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you can find out more about him later on, but it's like they make those hand signals, whatever. Beam gets on a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Goes up.
vroom, vroom.
Ram takes out a dude on a horse and gets himself a horse.
Yeah.
You know? And so they're up on the bridge.
Yeah.
Get him, Scott.
They each have one end of a long rope, and they each go to opposite sides of the bridge.
They play chicken, and then they veer off
and go
jump
opposite
out from
side.
each other, pulling the rope taut around the two, making
then
it to
just
where they
can swing.
right.
Okay. And so, while Beam's
And he
going
gets
down,
he gives him the
and Rom's
flag.
going down. They cross.
He's got a flag.
Beam gives Rom takes the flag, drags it through the water. Beam goes down, scoops up the kid, and then they swap.
They toss each to each other.
And at first I was like, why has he got the flag? And then he whips it around himself like Batman,
And so he can
goes
go through the
the
fire.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yep. So fucking hot, dude. Oh my god. You know, and then of course they swing back, grab each other by the hand, like just kind of clasp, and like it's just like.
And then we get a song.
The power of fucking
And then we get a song, dude.
And we get a song.
And every time they drop those beautiful songs, they're always like a bit of
the soundtrack's
narration.
amazing.
Yes. Oh, dude, it is awesome. It's awesome. And so they do. The
songs having the narration in it's weird. But
it's a lot of foreshadowing. It's a lot of like, well, I mean, it's Indian cinema, man. It's like, okay, well, these two guys are gonna be the best of friends, but will there be bloodshed? We don't know. You know, it's like, you know, what's gonna happen?
Tragedy.
Yeah. And so I dug that shit, man.
I got to the point where I wasn't reading it. I was just listening
because
to
the songs were bangers.
Yeah, the songs sounded great.
Yeah.
But I was reading the lyrics, going like, ugh.
You know, really? I was just like, okay. Well, I was at first I felt the same way, you know, because I'm like, a little too on the nose for me.
Very on the nose.
But then whenever they subvert those expectations that they previously set, I'm like, oh, okay, they're fucking with us. You know, they're just like, okay, here's what you're thinking. here's what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so it does build the tension.
Yeah, but beyond that, you know, you get another little montage. They become friends. They're real good.
The
real
best
good. The
of
best
friends.
Dude, he's sitting there doing squats with the motherfucker on his shoulders.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess now's a good time to talk about Jenny, because she's
the niece of the
she's
governor.
the niece of the governor.
And the only good white person in the movie.
The only
Jenny.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Jenny, you know, so we got Beam out here, and he's trying to find out where Molly is. He has no idea. Of course, it's a fortress, just trying to get into the British encampment, whatever. Rom is also in the same village, but he's looking for an informant. Because he's looking for this, he's looking for Beam, but he doesn't know who Beam is.
Right,
so
exactly.
this is the only person that he thinks we can possibly give him the information on who this guy is. He happens to find the dude, and the guy, you know, runs away from him, and it's just to get away from him, et cetera, et cetera.
So then he has the sketch artist sketch him up, right? And apparently he gets a shit ton of copies of those.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, they just churn them out. You know what I'm saying? They do this shit every day. They're artisans on the street, boy. They're unemployed. They ain't got none. You know what I'm saying? So, and so of course he's like, you know, looking around for this guy, but. You know,
Jenny catches Beam's eye.
And Beam looks at her like, look at this beautiful white lady over there.
That's what you need, right? That's what everybody.
I bet she smells like lemon pledge.
I bet she smells like, I bet you believe the sun shine out your ass, Robert. You know, like, smell like Fledge furniture cleaner.
Yeah. Like lemon pledge.
Well, why did he see her at first?
Well,
she was just coming out.
One of the soldiers was picking on this old dude in the street.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she
And she
comes up
intervened.
and she intervenes.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm the only person here that believes in human rights.
Yep. You know, she went home and wrote a blog.
Hey, look, I'm one of the good ones.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it was very messy.
You know? And the smell, I won't forget the smell anytime soon.
Would not recommend the smell.
You know, but she's basically just showing everybody that not all white people are assholes in this movie specifically.
In this movie,
and I mean, you really kind of needed that because seriously,
the rest of them
were so bad.
So
And so of course Beam ends up, you know, seeing her, and he's just like smitten. You know, she's cute. She's cute.
Yeah.
She
looks like somebody else. Like she looks like another, like an American actress.
Right.
She looked real.
Couldn't quite.
Her
put
and
my,
the governess both looked real familiar to me. But I couldn't place them.
The governess and the governor have both actually been in a lot of movies.
Oh yeah. So I think they end up forming a kind of friendship, and that's kind of threaded through the rest of the movie.
Yep.
And then Beam's got a huge crush, and Rom realizes that, and he keeps trying to help him out.
Oh yeah,
you know,
he's like, he's your boy.
Because
you know,
he
he's
ended up
wingman.
because Beam ended up going with her. Is this before or after when he gets the bracelet? No, that's after, because that's after he found out that Molly was with her.
Yeah, because he kind of goes on a date with her.
Right, but that's after Rom pops them tires.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly.
Like, how
what
did you
bridges
know
those
this would
scenes
happen?
together. So he gets a crush on the cute white lady, and
I love when he's asking her name.
Oh yeah, and he thinks it's this whole
sentence. Yeah, it's like, don't call me ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am, just call me Jenny.
Don't call me ma'am.
Because he doesn't understand English at all. She doesn't understand him, so they can't communicate.
So he's like, I love his side. That's a really long name.
Like, for real. But he tried to remember it. He's like, that's gonna be the name. And of course he goes back and he tells Rom, and Rom is like, no, her name is just Jenny.
Yeah.
He's like, you're saying all this shit, man. It's like, no.
I love it when they're talking over the tire thing. Yeah. And he like keeps being like, you know, hey, say this to her, and then she's like, well, you know, he could give you a ride. Yeah. She goes, oh, are you going that way? And he's like, no. Say yes. I mean,
And it's so funny the way that they, like, you know, because they really don't nod and shake their heads so much.
They do that one.
Yeah.
No, man, that's one of the coolest things about Indian folks. Dude. They rotate on the Z axis.
Exactly.
Nobody else rotates on the Z.
Yeah, dude. You know, and so so Rom's trying to, you know, help Beam out. Yeah. You know, they end up seeing Jenny rolling down the street, and he's like, I wish I could just talk to her, you know, whatever. And Rom's like, I got this.
Yeah.
I got
And
you.
they-
I
they're
got
on the
you,
back
bro.
of Beam's motorcycle. He just gets some nails and throws them in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Pops her tires. He's like, okay, now pull over right here. Beam's like, what the fuck, man? He's like, yeah, sit on this bench. He's like, don't worry, she'll stop right here.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you
Oh, wow.
talking about? And she does. He's like, I popped her tires.
Damn.
He's like, oh, okay, I'll repair her tires, and then, we'll help her out. He's like, no. You know?
You're gonna give her a ride
You know?
to wherever she was going.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's the realest bro. He's like, all right.
Absolutely.
And so they do. They end up going to a market, and there, Jenny lets it slip that she's shopping
she's just,
for a little girl by the name of Molly.
And
Yeah.
he just
Which is the same, because it's the same person that he's looking for, same little girl.
And he
so
runs
he
off.
goes and creates a bracelet. Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
for
real.
real. Bangle
he shoves
over
that dude
it,
out the way. He's like, get the fuck out.
Like,
I'm gonna make a
he
bracelet.
said, I gotta make something real fast.
Yeah.
He was like, bet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go.
I was wanting to take a
Well,
break anyway,
also,
dude.
Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
he's-
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Those people just
He's
stick
part
together.
of the community at this
Yep.
point.
Yeah.
But he, eventually, so he gives the bracelet to Jenny.
Yes.
And later on, Jenny back at the house is given, here's the
Right.
dress or whatever that I bought you. And
Well,
here's a
because
little
Molly
toy
is-
elephant, and Molly
She doesn't
is
even
just
care.
she's
Right,
just
because
like,
Molly is a
whatever.
prisoner in their home, and she's doing
Essentially.
the henna tattoo and singing the same song
Right.
that she was singing the first time that we met her.
Exactly. And then she gives
then they put her in a
the
cell.
bracelet. And she
She's
breaks
yeah.
the fuck down,
Uh-huh.
because she knows who's
She's
it
like,
was.
oh, they're coming for
They're
me.
coming for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she had given up, man. And,
And
poor
man, that
thing.
scene later on when Beam finally, Jenny invites him into the house for tea or some shit.
Well, that's a major scene.
And
Because what happens is he gets invited to the party.
yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where we have that. Now we're hitting that hour mark. This is when I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Because he gets invited to. He goes back. After he gave her the bracelet, she gave him an invitation. He didn't know. Didn't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Took it back to Rom. Rom was like, "Dude, she's inviting you to a party." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You
Like,
need to go.
you gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so he gets him.
He's like, will you come with me then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
He's like, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. And so he gets them all, dolled up. He's like, all right, man, you're gonna look better.
We're gonna
man.
look fresh.
You're gonna look
in this
fly,
one.
baby. We
And
want to walk
they
up in this
did,
motherfucker.
dude.
They
look
did.
so fucking
They do. They
fly.
look very fresh.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, which leads us to the dance.
First big
dance.
big dance.
Yeah.
And dude,
That-
I was wondering, it was like, because this the white dude,
The prick with the
the
weak
prick
mustache.
with
Yeah,
the weak
the-
How
mustache.
you gonna walk to this mustache over here with your
Right.
weak ass shit?
Well, the thing was, he was trying to dance with Jenny. He was trying
Yeah,
to
he
hit
was
on
trying to-
Jenny.
that's it.
She shut him down. She didn't want anything to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
But then Beam and Rom walked in, and she was like, "Oh," and ran over to him. Now,
Yeah, it was like,
all these
"You
guys
should
are
dance with
racist
me."
as shit,
Yeah.
And so they're just like, "Who's this brown fucker?"
Yeah.
And so what he does is she goes out on the floor and she's dancing with Beam, and Rom's like, "Go get her, Tiger."
Yeah.
And he comes up and he starts dancing with another girl,
And he ends up
then
tripping her.
tripping.
Yeah.
He tripped
Tripping
Beam.
Beam. Yeah,
he
exactly.
tripped
Tripping
Beam.
him,
So
yeah.
Beam, in a hilarious display, ends up bumping into open hand pushing
Yes.
somebody carrying some cocktails, spills them onto this girl's dress.
Yeah.
She freaks out, gets mad. Jenny goes over to the woman, be like, "Oh no, don't worry, it'll come out."
Yeah.
And little prick with a weak mustache, all
Starts
of a sudden,
trying to
"Who is
river
this
dance on this
brown
motherfucker?"
fucker here.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't know dance. You don't know flamenco, tango.
Dude, one thing, by the way, the band that's going
Yes.
on, right?
Yeah.
Right. There's the one dude, the
drummer?
the black guy, the drummer.
Yeah,
he's
he's just like,
bored as
"God damn."
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
sitting over there like, why do I have to do this?
Uh-huh.
Why do I have to do this?
Yeah.
Until
Yeah, dude,
right
and
after
so-
Riverdance
so
Man
they-
is over there trying to show off on him.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Rom sneaks around, goes over to the percussion,
Right.
and is like, "Yo, dude, let me."
Well,
let
what
me
he
do
does
this.
is when Beam pushed the person over,
Oh, he
they
got
spilled
the
their
platter.
drinks, and
Right,
the
that
platter
platter.
That's right.
was rolling. So Ron
the whole
kicks
time,
that,
little-
kicks that motherfucker up,
Yeah,
Just
he kicks it up.
kicks it,
Yep.
and slams it down on the drum kit.
On the drum kit, and starts
uh,
hitting a killer beat,
Well, 'cause
and then the drummer's finally like,
gives him-
"Whoa, this
the
is what I'm
drummer
talking
gives him
about."
His drumsticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets his drumsticks.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
just like boom. He's like, "Do you know what is it called? Not to."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when we get our first,
Which
and I
just
didn't
means
realize-
dance, I guess.
Because
that seemed to be what it was, what they were saying.
It's just the
with
name
the,
of that type of dance. And
Yeah.
apparently, before the movie came out, because this movie was announced it got put on a 2-year hiatus due to COVID, but it was announced back in 2018. But they showed a short clip of the Natsu dance, and it ended up going going viral on TikTok. And so there were all these people who actually learned the dance before they even knew anything about the movie. So when they like premiered this movie in India, you should see footage of it. People are going crazy. There are some people that got up and they're like all doing the dance and shit. And the dance itself is just so fucking killer.
Dude,
they are killing it. And the idea, I guess, is that you're supposed to do it until you fall down.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's the whole idea.
It's a dance battle, man.
Yeah.
It's everything.
It's a battle of stamina.
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
Yeah, and they wipe the floor with everything.
They wipe the floor with everybody,
But
and it just becomes.
I also love it
Beam.
that like Rom plays the beat once, and drummer's like, got it.
Got it. Really.
He's just
yeah. And of course, you get a song that's once again telling you what's actually happening on the screen. Whatever.
It's so cringe
but it
for me.
fits. I don't know. It fits for that
it.
for that scene especially.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god, because it's about heart. It's about passion. You know, and of course all the girls are just sitting there. They're out there trying to dance.
They're
loving it.
They
So
love
all the
it.
dudes are mad as fuck. All the white dudes are mad as fuck.
they're all falling
The
down,
British
too.
are like, well, that's why they started dancing, because they're just like, no, man, you can't dance with all of our women.
Yeah.
And so they go up and start trying to do the Nazi dance.
Yeah.
And
Can't do it.
No, they were doing it all right for a little while, but then of course it's like they're getting attacked. You know, like, falling down.
Oh, I love it at the end of it. Again, it's just Rom and Beam, and Rom notices that Jenny is sitting there. Come on, Beam.
And all the other girls are chanting for Rom. They're
all
like,
the other
Rom,
girls,
Rom. He realized that they're in competition.
He takes the fall for it because he's your boy.
He's a bro.
Because he's your boy, Rom.
He's like, I'm gonna take this L for my dude real quick.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The best friend we all need.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
And so, so maybe it was after this point that he found out about Molly.
Well, it's not that he didn't. I think he.
It was.
Was it after that? I thought he
No.
already knew
No, he
about it, but
already-
he didn't know how to get into the place.
Right.
So maybe
Yeah.
that was it. It was almost like a.
Because they had that two-stage defense of the doors, where you had
Right.
to one set of doors opens, and
It
the other
is-
set doesn't
it
open
is
until
definitely
the first
after,
set closes.
Yeah, it is after the dance sequence when Jenny invites him back to for like coffee or tea or something.
That's the
And
point where he actually finds
That's
Molly.
when he finds her, and
Yeah.
that
But he had
shit
already
is
sent her the
fucking
bracelet at that
sad.
point.
He'd sent the bracelet. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are.
He had
Yeah.
already
So
sent
those
the
are two
bracelet.
separate.
Yeah.
So he knew that she was somewhere,
But
he
he
didn't know
didn't-
exactly that she was in the house per se, I guess.
Maybe, yeah.
Or where exactly she was.
Where exactly she was.
Yeah, because after all the dancing and everything, he gets invited in, and then the guard is just like, no, don't let him in here. The help has to go around back. And she's like, no, he's my friend, and brings him in. And of course, he tells her that he's really thirsty. So she goes off and gets something to drink.
Oh, no, she's hungry.
He's hungry. He's hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes to get him some food, and he goes and finds Molly.
And she's already in her cell that they keep her in, and they're having to like talk and like connect through bars.
He's holding her,
Dude,
and she's like, take me now.
Yeah,
I
she
wanna
will
get out of
not
here.
let him.
And
go.
he's like, yo, you gotta
He's like,
shut
you gotta
up.
Shut the fuck up, man. You better blow our cover.
Because then the whole time that prick cop guy that's like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's not a cop, but for some reason in my head, that's all I can.
Yeah, okay, got it.
But he, the guy that he interacted with earlier, trying to say that he like broke his motorcycle and then put another part on there to charge him more, because they had already had this conflict, and now this dude's stalking around the halls looking for this disturbance he hears or whatever, and he's like, shut the fuck up, Molly.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'll come back for you, but I can't do it right now.
do it.
She's like,
I
I
don't
care
understand.
about any of that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why are you gonna leave me here? And so he starts singing the song that she sings to her, and that delivers the message, man. She's like, okay, all right. And so he does. He has to back out, leave her there, but now he has a plan.
Yeah. So kind of skipping forward a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta move.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, there's a lot to get through. Skipping forward a little bit. Come to find out, Rom himself is actually on a mission from his kind of clan or people.
Well, I don't think we find that out for a little while by that point, right?
Well, yeah,
because
but I mean, like, we're not doing this point by point for real, but like it is after that you find out.
Just trying to see which is
because it does that little flashback of
Rom and his dad, and Rom with the rifle, because he's a beast with a fucking gun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just figure out the best way from point A to point B.
That's what it is Rom finds out that Beam is the guy that he's looking for.
But Beam isn't the guy he's looking for.
No.
Not the informant. He's the guy who's ultimately after.
He doesn't. No. He doesn't find that out way later. He gets the informant guy. He's looking for the dude. He ends up finding him in the streets, whatever, taking him hostage and torturing him, and breaking his fingers, doing all that stuff. And then that guy, in turn, ends up getting a hold of a snake. That and so Rom was just beating that guy every night. He's beating him all the time until the guy gave him information on Beam. He didn't know that's who he was looking for, but give him information on this shepherd that was coming in.
So
the guy
he's the guy he's ultimately looking for, but he doesn't know he's the guy he's looking for.
You ain't read those lyrics, man. They was telling you exactly what was happening. But no, so the guy, the prisoner dude, was sitting there, and he was taking a beating. But he ends up catching a highly venomous snake. And so next time Rom comes in,
I'm just trying to figure out how that man was holding on to this highly venomous snake while his hands were cuffed.
Suspend your disbelief. This is
a
movie.
So much of it.
It's a movie. It's fanciful, dude. We're talking about revolutionaries and gods and lore. Rama is
some
a
of
god.
the
This
most
is a deity.
hype-ass fucking fights you've
exactly.
ever
And these two guys are like the strongest guys in all
Trust
the
me,
realm.
I'll get to it, but I know what you mean.
This is more like 80s action movie than it is like historical drama. You know, so if you hold it to that standard,
I'm just saying a snake is here and you're handcuffed, and this is a very basic thing.
Hey, I think you'd be impressed what you'll do under extreme duress, man. I think if you're like, I'm gonna fucking die, because what he did was he started
really
he started tapping on the ground.
Yeah, to lure the snake over.
The snake went over and he just snatched it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen folks just snatch a cobra. I don't know. Indian folks are built different, bro. They built different.
It's fine. Whatever.
They built different. Anyway, so he gets the prisoner gets the snake, and next thing you know, Rom comes in, and the prisoner throws the snake at Rom.
Throws it.
It bites him in the arm. You know, he rips it off, whatever. And the guy's like,
there's
no. British people don't even have a cure for that. You're gonna die.
Yeah, but you know who does?
You know, but you know, the interesting thing is that Rom then releases the prisoner. Once he finds out that he's not going to live, and his days are numbered, he lets him go. He said, "Live your life." He said, "It'll take you an hour to get out of those ropes. Live your life." And he kind of just goes off to die. Beam happens to be in the area, and Rom happens to see him, but he can't scream. He's dying. But he's banging. He ends up like banging on a pot.
Because he almost like completely passed him in the street and had no idea that his boy's dying over here.
Yeah, because they're plotting on how to get into the fortress in order to go and get Molly.
So Beam and his guys walk past the street that he's on, and like Rom's like seeing him going.
Can't do anything. And so he just starts banging on one of the pots on the side of the road, and of course Beam hears it. Once again, this is foreshadowing. They're connected by music as well. He hears that
because it's
beat.
a specific rhythm.
Exactly. And he goes back and finds him, and of course Beam's just like, "Fuck, man, you'll be alright. I got you, fam."
Like, oh yeah,
I got this all the time.
We live in the jungle. It's just a Tuesday.
And so of course, he gets Rom. He carries Rom. Back to his home, puts him in his bed, and tells Rom what he's about to do. He's like, I've got to go on this mission. I'm sorry that I've been lying to you. I haven't told you the truth. I'm actually here to rescue this girl named Molly. They kidnapped her from my tribe.
And that's when Rom realizes
that's the guy. Yeah, but he can't respond, right? Because he's still dying. And so Beam's just like, I wanted to reach out to you and ask for your help on so many occasions, but I couldn't do it. I didn't want to put you in danger. He's like, but your friendship has meant everything to me. And Rom is just like, but he can't do shit,
right?
And so Beam goes to enact that plan, boy.
Yeah, gives him the antidote and then runs off to enact the plan. And that scene,
boy,
dude, they crash that. Okay, so the governor and governess is throwing a big fucking party because I guess the governor's getting knighted or something like that at some point.
Yes,
it was something. Yeah, something along that line.
Yeah, because I think the king was the king supposed to be visiting or some shit?
I think they were. Yeah, either way, he's gonna get knighted, and they're throwing this big, party. Fireworks and everything. All these different noble houses or whatever coming to just do to the shindig, and they just crash a fucking truck through those fucking
because
gates.
they did. Beam sent out one guy to listen for the sound of the second set of doors opening. Yeah, right.
That way they could smash through the
first set of doors. This truck, man. And I was talking about that truck came through those doors. Boom, jackknives hit sideways. What happens? Gates open up. Apparently, it's a whole bunch of cages. Beam jumps off the top with 2 torches, and all those animals, the wolf that you saw earlier, the tiger that you saw earlier,
and a fucking deer, another tiger, some fucking leopards.
That deer gores the shit out of somebody.
Yes, it does.
Dude,
These animals were pissed.
No, what it wasn't the deer. Beam threw that dude's armpit onto his fucking
Yeah, he does, man. So all the animals are running rampant. People start to freak the fuck out. I know, right?
I was just like,
people are freaking out, and of course the animals are, just devouring people and fucking people up. But they're also attacking Beam.
Yeah, so he keeps having to throw them off.
Fight them and throw them. You know what I'm saying? And
and he's mowing through fucking soldiers and shit.
Yes,
literally, man. Beam just throws everybody. He throws not just everybody. He throws everything.
Everything. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so he manages to make his way almost to Molly, almost to the front door.
It's close.
And then, of course, Rom, has somehow healed, comes back.
Yeah.
And the way he comes back, you know what I'm saying, with that fucking cart that flips over upside down,
on fire.
How'd y'all film that? That was beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, dude. The flaming cart goes over and boom, and he's standing proudly. And Beam's just like, "What's up, bro?" You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get to work. And he's just like, "No, motherfucker.
I'm here to arrest you.
I'm here to arrest you." And
he's like, "Wait, no." First thing he says, "Why are you wearing that uniform?"
Right. Yes.
Yeah, because he's back in his military garb.
Right.
And of course, the whole time, I'm just like, "Look, go peacefully. Go peacefully. I'm here to arrest you."
Because he doesn't want to hurt him. He's he's really already conflicted.
They are actually friends.
But now it's duty versus friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
Duty versus honor. And and so they end up having a battle, man.
Dude, and it is so fucking good. When he so at some point the big fountain that they have in the middle of the courtyard gets smashed, and you see all these fucking hoses just going all over the place.
Yes.
Beam grabs one of them. That's your water.
Right.
And then Rum grabs a fucking torch
and throws it into all the fireworks. Yeah.
And
then dude, that whole fucking scene, and just them just conflicting and fighting and throwing each other and punching and
a bunch of
kicking
shit going over everywhere the whole time.
because they ended up
wild.
on the second story because Beam was trying to get up to the second story to get to get to Molly.
Before that, Beam takes that fucking chain and that fucking pond looking fucking cement.
And
just rips it out of the ground and starts swinging it. Fuck me, this man is a beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing to me, and we really need to look up the names of these actors because they are worth recognition.
Absolutely.
Beam can go from looking like the friendliest dude in the planet
to
absolutely terrifying. Yes, man. And it happens like that.
Yeah.
The second he gets just mad
He
face,
gets murder face.
Oh, shit. Yeah, literally, dude. Yeah.
And
so,
dude, and that's the thing. Is Rom can kind of do the same thing. Except he doesn't go for murder. He is. I mean, it's definitely murder, but it's a much more intense.
Yes.
Stare.
Yeah. What they
he
say,
is focused on you.
Yeah, it's like it's a volcano versus a storm.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so they end up, on the second story, and Beam was actually about to fuck some shit up. He was doing quite well, but they ended up putting a gun on Molly, and they're like, "Okay, well, you either come with us or we're gonna kill her." And there's nothing he can do. And matter of fact, he starts wailing because he's hanging by that chain or whatever that he's holding on to.
It's some kind
of a sash or something.
No, it's something in Indian culture that I don't know.
Right. It was like a wrap or like a flag, a piece of cloth.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Are you talking about a sari?
I think it's woven hair.
Oh, is that what that was?
I think it's what it looked like.
I don't remember. I watched this last week.
Yeah, I don't remember what he was
going to
holding
watch
on
it again.
Yeah, but
he was holding on to some shit and he was dangling.
He gave it to Rom when Rom was poisoned.
It's the prayer cord. It's that prayer cord.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Because he was going to take his prayer cord off and give it to Rom when he was injured, and they told him if you take that off, nothing but trouble will come from it.
Right.
And he was like, he needs it more than I do. And so that's what. So kind of like.
But at that point, that's when Rom looked at the prayer cord and was like, "This is the thing I just took off the dude that I was beating to death."
Yeah.
Where he didn't take it from him, but he pulled it out of his shirt and he was looking at it. So
right.
he understood
that there was a correlation
the
between the two because they were part of a resistance.
But he ends up, as Beam's jumping to go murder some motherfuckers and get Molly back, he ends up whipping it and catching him by the wrist. And that motherfucker is
holding him.
He's dangling, and he's lifting him up.
He's lifting him up.
One goddamn hand.
And he's just like, I'm telling you, man, dude. Anyway, it's kind of like 300 in a lot of ways in some of these cases.
But
he's sitting there like, okay, well, you come with us or they're going to kill Molly. And Beam is so just like distraught and upset that he's just wailing on Rom, wailing on him, but you can tell he's giving up. Rom just takes it.
Yep.
Because he knows that he deserves it. He knows, man. And so, so they end up taking Beam hostage. Now, Rom at this point sends a letter off to his village. All right. And we come to find out that he was raised in a village that the British conquered as always. His father was a warrior in said village and was training everybody
in rifles.
And but he would never let people use the rifles because
they
he's
have
like,
this
until you
never
miss, until I'm sure that you'll never miss a shot, I'm not going to let you use real
everybody had
firearms.
those wooden guns.
Exactly, and they're just like, we're good, we're ready.
That's actually one of the weird things that bothered me.
Rom was a child. Well, it's formation.
No,
right?
That's
formation,
not what bothered
load,
me.
whatever.
What bothered me is that they were making real gun sound effects while they were holding the wooden guns. Like there's a lot of little details that bothered the shit out of me in this movie.
Yeah,
like I'm just gonna go ahead and put it down there because I haven't said any of my negativity yet.
Oh, it's cool.
Said right.
Oh well, I mean, I do. I want to hear that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I'm very, very interested. I think that by this point, I was having fun.
There's too much of that for me to ignore it. There's way too much of it.
I was having fun.
I'm not trying to rain on the parade.
Keep going. Well, and again, it's going to take us forever to get through everything.
Yeah, we got to charge. Right now, we're at a turning point.
We're about at the middle of the fucking movie.
Right. Because now we're finding out about Rom.
So Rom, his whole deal is, the British came.
British are coming.
British took over the village. Most of the people, ended up killing his father, and his father made him
and his little brother.
And his father made Rom promise that he would find a way to get everyone in the village a weapon.
Right, because Rom was raised with goddamn Sitha. That was a little girl that he was raised with, and she was like, all about him. They were basically in love, and Sitha one day ended up taking Rom out, and they took one of the rifles, and Rom's dad,
perfect bullseye.
Rom's dad found out about it, and he's like, "Who's been messing with the guns? Whatever the fuck."
I love that part. He's like, "Did you shoot that over by the rocks over here?" And he's like,
and so like
he shows him way far away,
and he's about to beat the fuck out of Rom because Rom wasn't supposed to touch the guns. And Sitha jumps up and she's like, no, he's just really good. She's like, I took him, I did it, but he's really good. And so she's like, no, come with me, and shows him the target. It's like the wooden, like a target cut out of the trunk of a tree. And it's just hanging from a branch, and it's a perfect bullseye right through the middle of it. And Rom, well, that was his name as well. His dad's name as well.
His dad sees the bruise on his arm. That's
the recoil. That's what it was. Exactly. And so, but she shows him the target, and he's looking around, and he looks at a pile of rocks that's about a good, maybe 10 meters. It's not that far. And he's like, were you shooting from that pile of rocks over there? And she's like, no. From way up there, so he was shooting for about a good 100-yard stretch.
At least,
he sniped that shit.
He sniped that shit. And his dad was like, "Oh my god," because he always said that the weapon will come to us. And he's like, "Oh, the weapon has come to us," and Rom was gonna be that
the weapon.
Yes,
and we all know why.
We
all know why.
So basically, what you come to find out is the whole reason that he joined the British military is so that he can gain access to the guns.
All their guns.
All
and
their
get them
guns.
to his village.
And that's why
he made a promise before he left.
And because he was the one who Beam, he finally gets promoted, so now he finally has access to the. So that's what he's been trying to do this whole.
And that's
time.
what
and
the
then-
letter that he sent her was like.
Yeah.
I've accomplished my goal, but I might have lost my way.
Right.
I had
Right.
to betray
Yeah.
my best friend in
Yeah.
order to do this, and I don't know if this is right anymore. You know, and so then you see that conflict, and all of a sudden you're rooting for both of them.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And of course,
Is the next scene what he does with the guns?
no,
is that the next scene?
I think the next scene.
Because I thought that was real clever. That was fucking super clever.
Right,
Like,
because he's going to transfer that shipment.
Right.
No, the next scene is Beam.
Beam getting whipped.
whipped.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
because he's
and
in.
getting
He
just-
gets put in the hole, and they break his legs and everything.
Yeah, and they end up publicly flogging him because
Yep,
they're trying
totally.
to break everybody's spirit.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
but
they-
he wouldn't put his fucking knees
Dude,
on the
and
ground.
so the-
See, and
the
that had that
governess-
Braveheart about it,
the
right? That had
governess-
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like she was the real bloodthirsty one. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the governor is a bastard, but the governess is like, I want to be there for the whole thing.
Yeah,
I
want
to see him.
He's not
bleed.
even bleeding.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
And
It
so
doesn't look like you've
they,
done
They
anything
had
to it.
Rom actually whipping Beam, so he's standing there, he's taking the hits, but they're like, beat him until he kneels, and he will not allow for his knees to touch the ground,
Right.
no matter what.
No matter
and so
what.
she's like, and look, there's not even much blood. Upgrade to the Thorn Whip, right? She's gonna
Throws him
make
a
the
rose
Belmonts,
whip.
yeah.
Yeah, for
He's
real.
like, here, boom, rose whip on that ass, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Vampire
yes.
killer, this motherfucker.
And she was like, hit the post first so he can see what it's going to do to his flesh.
Right.
And it wraps around a post and just flays it,
so-
and Beam sees it, and Beam's just like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Stands up, and Rama
you
the whole
gotta
time
do.
is like, man, like, come on, dude, just kneel.
real.
Just kneel. At one point, actually, he ends up pulling the chain and trying to fake Beam's kneeling.
Yeah.
And Beam still refused to
Oh
let
yeah,
his knees touch.
he catches it.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just like, fuck
immediately.
that, you
Yeah.
know? And so he does. So this is a public flogging. Everybody from the village is there. They're all watching. Beam sees the rose whip coming his way. He's going to get hit with them thorns and starts to sing the most beautiful fucking song. And so while Rom is sitting there just ripping at his flesh, he just sings and he sings and he sings. And that in turn just inspires the shit out of the crowd.
Oh, and
you
then
know?
they just go ham.
That's
I
right.
mean, they are literally crushing people with barbed wire.
And they
Like,
and they scare the shit out of all the white
So-
folks. I mean,
Yeah,
I, don't know what
I
else
mean,
to say.
I
Yeah,
know,
for
right?
real, like-
That's just what it is.
Right, yeah. And so they're like, okay, well, this got out of hand. We got to get out of here
Yeah.
before we get crushed
they take
too.
Beam
yeah.
out of the way, and Beam
Uh-huh.
is just—he's out.
Yeah.
He's out.
But he just sparked a revolution.
And that's when they throw him in the hole.
That's when
Well, no, that was wrong. Because
they throw Rom in the hole later on.
Later on.
because that's when they decide, okay,
Oh,
in the
you're
next
right.
2 or 3
Yeah.
days,
They're gonna
we're
execute
we're gonna
Beam.
hang
Yeah.
him.
and he's
Yeah.
and Rom's like, well, we shouldn't do it here. We should do it near the river, where we could dispose of his body cleanly, get rid of all the evidence. But he was
He's
also
like,
planning
and
on moving the
The
firearms.
guns.
The
Which
guns.
is this? So is this the point where he goes and disables them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yes.
I'm telling you, this is a genius idea.
Yeah.
He cuts the fucking firing
Firing
pins
pins.
out of all the guns.
Yep.
So they still think that they're fully operational. It's like I loved that. I loved
he
that
had,
so
he had
much.
every intention of helping Beam at that point.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
dude.
And
Well,
so-
and he's the one that suggested they bring Molly with them because that'll be more
so she could-
painful
for him.
for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like at that point the wheels are fucking turning. It's just like you're about to help this motherfucker get out of here with
With Molly.
with Molly. All right, you know. So eventually like they get to the place. He springs his trap.
Yes.
Which is basically
and the general is in the car behind him.
Behind him.
Behind Beam and Rom, and
a tree. Okay, Rom, as he's driving past this one big tree.
oh no,
he
the general
pulls-
noticed that his Rom had the I don't know if it was gunpowder or clay on his hands.
Think it was
Remember,
a-
he shook his hand, and then he was just like,
Yeah.
this guy's up to something. You know,
And so he's watching him the whole time, but he sees him like spring his trap, which is basically move this thing out of the way real quick as I drive by and drop this tree on this bastard behind me. Okay, and he's just like, I said speed up, and the tree comes and hits the back of the car, and the gun flips up behind the governor. Governor gets up in midair,
catches
just
this shit.
boom! Like, god damn, it's just It's ridiculous, but it's fucking
It's so
awesome.
over the top, but that's the movie.
Yeah.
The movie
Yeah.
is over the top, you know?
Yeah.
It's larger than life.
So Rom ends up, fighting everybody. Beam gets free. He starts running with Molly, and at this point, Beam doesn't know that Rom's on his side. He doesn't know the full story.
And people are trying to shoot Beam, and those guns are all misfiring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect plan.
Good shit.
Perfect
Yeah,
plan.
shit.
Because
He
the
knew
first
how
thing
that
they
was gonna
do,
go down.
well, also because the first thing they do, they don't go, "Oh, the gun's fucked up." They're like, "Huh, weird. Let me
It's
try another
jammed
one.
in
Yeah.
Huh, let me just." And so
yeah.
then they're all tinkering. You know, they're like, yeah.
But Beam and Molly get away. Rom gets captured.
Yeah.
And
Oh
that's
man, they had to fight to take that man.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did, dude.
Oh,
And
shit.
at one point, he's literally holding one guy in a headlock with both of his legs. Two guys in a headlock, and then literally with
that's so
all four
fucking
of these
sick.
motherfuckers laying on a
Just
fifth
hyperextend.
guy. And just holding the motherfuckers down. Five motherfuckers in one man. God.
You know, because it's like they kind of
Jesus.
paint it like Beam is the ultimate badass, but by the time you get to by that point the third act, it's really Rom.
Oh,
It's really Rom. So they ended up
and
taking
then
Rom, and they
what
made it
happens
seem
to
as
Rom?
if
Yeah.
Rom died.
Yeah.
But really, they imprisoned him. You know, and so.
Or it seems like a while.
Yeah.
Well, that was like 4 months. They said it had been some months by that point.
Yeah, and they were only feeding him once a week, which is just barely enough to keep him alive.
And he's like, okay, well, we're gonna execute. They're gonna execute Rom. So they go down there to see him, and they're just like, I want to see the prisoner. And they go down. You see the actually some other guy, whatever. You see Rom, and he's over there doing pull-ups.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
For fucking real, dude. They're like,
Yeah,
you're
like
about to
you're
die
working
and you're
out.
working out.
He's like, yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what you
So
do in
they-
prison.
so
What are you talking
Absolutely.
about?
Crack his fucking legs
Yeah.
so he can't stand up anymore. And then they throw him in solitary, and what does this motherfucker do? He grabs them
the
fucking bars and
starts
just starts
doing
pull-ups
pull-ups.
again.
Ugh.
He's like, because even if my bottom half ain't gonna work,
my
they're
top
gonna
half
catch
will.
these fucking hands.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna look like Tung Fu Ru at the end of this.
Yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah,
This upper nest.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
But Bim meets up with Sheep.
Well, what it is that at that point, everybody is looking for Beam and the little girl. And
Yes.
they've been looking for her for months. And they end up chasing them into actually where they were hiding out in this building. And there are all these other Indian people in the building. And the soldiers come in, and they are really, really close to finding them.
Yeah.
However, Sitha is there. And Sitha ends up she sees Beam and the little girl, with these other people, and they're trying to hide, and she puts two and two together, and oh, that's who they're looking for.
Yeah.
And so she comes out and tells the guards, these people have smallpox.
You got to get out of
You
here.
gotta get out
that
of
was
here.
solid.
They got
That was good.
smallpox. And he's like, what? He's like, you're fucking diseased.
Uh-huh.
And so the guy holds up a flashlight or a torch or whatever and starts looking at the faces. And before he can get to Beam and Molly, she runs up to him. Sitha runs up to him and touches him. He's like, oh no, they like please help us.
Please.
And he's just like, you diseased bitch. And so she took a kick to the chest.
Yeah.
She took that foot.
She did.
She took it. She knew it was coming.
Man, she's the realest. Man. Yeah,
And
she's
so,
absolutely.
so she does. She gets, boom, hit. And they end up leaving, and they're all together. Beam comes over. He's like, now this whole time they were starving.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have any food. Molly hadn't
She
eaten in
ends
a
up-
long fucking time.
Yeah, she
And
ends
so
up
they talk to
feeding him.
Sitha,
Yeah.
and Sitha's like, they're like, why'd you help us? And Sitha's like, well, I saw you hiding, and I just wanted to help you out. Also, a little girl shouldn't go hungry. Here's some food, and feeds them. And so they're like, why are you so kind? All this kind of stuff. He's like, oh, you would really like my fiance, he's on this mission, blah, blah, blah. And basically come to find out that was Rom.
Yeah.
And so she tells him
And
the
the
whole
things
story.
that he did were for this purpose, and that's when he puts two and two together.
Well,
and that
Beam, because
Rom,
Beam has this whole time just been like, I can't believe this dude betrayed me.
yeah,
et cetera,
he
et
was
cetera.
my friend, and I fucking hate him. But that's when he puts two and two together. Is that
It's like-
this guy actually helped me escape then,
Right.
And got
and,
Molly,
And he had a greater cause, a much bigger. I've been looking for one little girl. He's been trying to save this entire region. And
Yeah.
oh my fucking God. Because we missed the part where Beam and Rom actually, once Rom helped him out and Beam made it down and didn't get hung or whatever, Beam cracked his ass.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then he was like right on top of him about to kill him with that like fucking, I guess.
no.
It was a
just
log.
It was like a
log.
that kind of tapered down into a spike.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and
He
and
was
he
gonna
and he
put
and
it
it
up.
looks, dude. I thought he ended him.
I thought he
ended
did.
him, man.
I did
absolutely.
And then sticking right in the ground next to his neck.
Uh-huh.
And Rom's got that look like, All right.
Well, I mean, because that's the thing. At that point, I think Rom was ready. It's like
Yeah.
if this is how I die, then this is what I've earned. You know what I'm saying? Like these guns are gonna get to wherever they're gonna go. Hopefully that'll work.
That's
out.
right.
We'll
and I'm
see.
gonna help
But
my
I'm gonna
friend
do the
out
right
that I
thing now.
that I actually betrayed.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna set things right. And
So
but
Beam finds out about all
and then
this,
he goes
Beam's
to
just
break
like,
that
Oh
motherfucker.
my
Yep.
fucking god! I will bring you your Rom.
that's right.
He's like, you see.
I'm
that
gonna
shit
go
not-
get him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so he breaks him out of prison.
Well, he goes to the prison and can't figure out where he is,
Oh.
but he ends up banging that beat.
Yep.
Banging that beat
And
on
Rom's
the
like-
ground, listening to the ground, and
Starts
Rom's like,
hitting the
"Oh
wall.
shit, hitting
I know that beat.
I know that beat." Yeah. And so he does. He crawls from all the solitary holes to the next holes, and ends up finding Rom. And then in a incredible feat of strength.
Oh my god! Just lifts him up on his shoulders.
No. First, he rips the door.
Oh yeah, he does do that. Like Ghost in the Shell style. Yeah.
He just rips
Yeah.
that door off.
Seriously.
solitary cell, And then throws him onto his back.
Yeah.
And well, now two become one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting too excited.
It
Yeah,
helps
this
to
is too
speak
hype.
into the mic. That's all.
I'm sure they heard me. I'm certain that they heard me.
Yeah, he puts Rom on his shoulders because Rom can't use his legs right now.
Yeah.
You know, so Meme is the bottom half, and then
Rom
Rom
is the
is
top half.
is the top half.
That's right.
And like Rom's
It's-
like grabbing
It's like that guy from El
Two
Topo.
rifles.
Two rifles.
Yeah, two
Oh, he
rifles.
does. He does totally.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
kind of
Goro.
like Lil Wayne.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
like
kind of
Lil-
like it's kind of like Lil Wayne. It's kind of like Crippled Masters. I don't know if y'all
yeah,
have ever
Crippled
seen
Masters.
that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
And so, but yeah, so he's got Rom on his shoulders, and
Yeah.
Rom is just crack shotting, boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he'll like Beam would like reload for him and shit.
Yeah.
To hit the two bolts and
That's
and
so hype.
yeah, so they end up climbing
it.
to the top of a tower.
Yeah.
While they're like two become one superhuman.
Exactly.
Dude.
That's the whole
I
time.
have no idea how that works, but okay.
I saw it
It's-
coming. I was like, no, here comes that flip. Everybody hit that flip on him.
Everything, nothing but flips. This whole movie, nothing but flips.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so they end up escaping. You know, and so
Beam
because
finds
they
a
escape,
statue of Shiva.
Yes.
And takes a bow
Right.
from a statue of Shiva.
and gives it to
Right.
Rom.
Well, we didn't know where the bow went.
We
at
didn't know where it
first
went.
because he's over there cleaning himself up,
And
and he
the-
gets surrounded by the British Army, and all
Right.
those people have guns on him. Next thing you know, arrows start flying, baby,
Uh-huh.
and we have Rom remastered. Rom is now Rama.
He became Rama.
He became
exactly.
Rama.
Yeah, he ascended.
Uh-huh.
That's right. He
Yeah.
became the avatar of Rama.
Yes.
Fuck. As soon as I
Dude.
saw that, I was like, why did I not see this coming
Exactly.
the whole movie? How did I
Exactly.
not
I didn't know
realize
they were gonna go all
Ram
the way
was going to be Rama?
Rama.
How did I
Uh-huh.
not, like,
Yeah,
man,
using Shiva's bow.
Totally,
and shit. Like,
dude.
what is
Totally.
happening here?
Like,
wearing
yeah.
that. What is it? It's saffron orange.
Yeah, that
Saffron
absolutely.
orange, boy.
dude.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, they're just laying waste
It's a very
to this
specific
army.
orange.
It is.
yeah.
It is.
They're just laying waste to this army, and like, I mean, of course, some more, like, you know, you're getting like explosions
Yup.
and
Yes.
fire
Dude.
and fucking Beam picks up and starts fighting with a motorcycle.
Yes, that happened.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Like that was nothing.
that was so hot. That was so
nothing,
hot,
dude. It was-
Oh my god, it was so
'Cause, I mean,
fucking
at
good.
this point, man, there's like,
Yeah.
fuck it, all bets are off.
all bets.
These two guys are basically deities at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's
Exactly.
it. You know, and so
Which, I mean, not knowing a shit ton about Indian mythology, I mean, I know stuff, but
Right,
not a bunch.
yeah.
Is there a beam? Is there a...
no, but they did make it seem that way because there was a Rama and Bhima. All of
Right.
a sudden, that's what the song became.
So that might be
And
something that
so
we don't know about. 'cause
it's a possibility.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It could be like
maybe
that
worth
Romulus
researching.
and Remus thing, you know, the two
Right.
brothers,
Yeah.
kind of, you know. Like,
I
don't know.
wonder. I don't know a lot about
don't
Indian
either.
like
Yeah.
religion and lore.
So they get a.
Now I want to.
they
Yeah,
get-
really.
they- Beam gets a
what I know
motorcycle.
is cool as fuck. They
Yeah,
got
it's
some-
very cool.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
super cool.
So Beam gets a motorcycle. Rom gets a horse. All right.
there we
and
go.
they're
Once again,
heading-
full circle,
They're
baby.
heading to get the fucking governor at his house.
Yeah,
The
they were like,
governor's-
when are we gonna stop hunting? What do you say? When are we gonna stop hunting livestock? Let's go
and
get the
let's
wolf.
go-
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go get him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't even need
Yeah,
to
he's
fuck
like,
with
we
these
keep
guys.
fucking with
Yeah.
these little fuckers, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that
Let's
shit.
go
Let's
get the
close this
big
out.
dog. Yeah, let's get
yeah.
Go
done.
cut off the head.
So
Yeah.
this is great. This is absolutely great. So governor's sitting up there. A couple of his soldiers got some cannons on in the house or wherever.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever he's staying. And Rom on the horse Does he shoot an arrow that's on fire?
He shoots a grenade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's totally it.
Yeah,
That was it, dude,
'cause
because
they
they
found
chunked
a
the grenade
bandolier of
up in the air,
grenades.
right?
Yeah, because
and then he shoots
they took
through
out a
it
guy
and it
who had a
catches it.
bandolier with grenades on it.
Yeah.
And he actually
In-
took that.
Yeah.
And then goes Rambo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't
While
attach it
being-
to the arrow. He like tosses it and then shoots
then
it where it
shoots it.
catches
Right.
the ring,
Ring.
Yeah.
and then when it
Yes.
hits, it pulls the ring, and then the grenade. Like I was like, "Fuck, man."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
this is while Beam is ramping the
Yeah.
motorcycle up. He ramps it up, jumps off. The arrow hits the motorcycle, explodes. It lights on fire. It goes through the window
Yeah.
where they happen to be keeping
all the TNT.
all the TNT, and that fucker comes down.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
it is,
Yep.
oh, dude, that's
Uh-huh.
one of
Yeah.
the best buildings crumbling scenes
Absolutely.
I've ever
It
seen.
made me
yeah,
think of
yeah,
MH
seriously, yeah.
66 a little bit, like
Yeah.
that whole building being destroyed.
Yeah.
Especially in the rubble when you get to see the governess laying there wrapped in her barbed wire.
Yeah,
And everything with her
oh.
arm dangling down, and the governor's just like, no, the only thing that can hurt him.
Yep.
You know, and she is dead. Because I'm like, we have to get her. She has to get her comeuppance.
Yeah,
It has to
fucking
happen.
seriously.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and I wanted to be on screen.
That's
you know,
right.
like after all that shit, I want it on screen.
That's right.
And so they don't really give it to you, but they give you
her,
her sacrifice.
the
do,
after,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
aftermath, and it is brutal.
It's worth it.
Absolutely. So, anyways, fight
damn it, this
scene.
movie's so hot.
Fight scene. We're about to wrap this up. Fight scene. They Beam and Rom see the governor, and Rom has him shoots an arrow, pins him to a wall.
Yeah.
Okay, and then grabs a rifle and says the thing that he's been saying to
Yeah.
To
to
everybody,
his-
because
to
I mean, it was the
everybody.
same way when Rom was in training. You know, they were about to shoot an Indian, and he's like, "Hey, do you know how much that bullet is worth?"
Yeah.
You know, so that's the whole thing. It's not worth an Indian life.
Yeah.
An Indian life is not worth as much as a British bullet. And so he tells Beam, he's like, "You know how much this bullet is worth?" You know, and gives
Yeah.
Beam, because
But he
Beam
tells
at that
him
point
in ruples, doesn't he?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
because
in
it's like that's the whole thing. It's like
Yeah.
you know, Beam is basically like, "Hey, teach me, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're the leader.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not designed like
Yeah,
you,
man,
maybe
I'm
something
just
else."
here to throw
And so,
motorcycles.
yeah, but at this point, now one thing that's very much worth mentioning by this point is the complete redesign of Rom.
Oh yeah.
By this
dude,
point,
he
he's got
is-
long flowing hair. You know, he's got his big pants on, wearing the
I got my big
saffron
pants.
orange.
I got my big
Yeah, his hammer pants and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
but
like, "Oh!"
Beam is essentially. I mean, while it's definitely his partner, Beam is just like, all right, I work for this
Bet,
guy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so he does. He gives Beam the bullet, and yeah, Beam handles business.
Yeah, and he's just
Yeah,
like,
no
this
question.
is, you know, again, and then he ends up just
He's like, he said, send it back to him.
send it back.
Yep.
To
Send
him.
it back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Shoots the governor.
And Beam's
you
like,
know.
Yeah. I will.
People in Rom's village
First
get their
class.
weapons, so yay revolution.
Yeah.
Yay, revolution, and then we have musical
Beam,
outro.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
sorry, go
Beam goes back to his
to the village.
to
Yeah.
his village with the girl, and you know, happy musical outro.
And that
which was
musical outro was
fucking
Oh yeah.
sick,
Hey, the
dude.
music's sick the whole
It's
time.
so
Like
good.
really,
Yeah.
the
And
music's
then they
sick the
show
whole
you
time.
all these revolutionaries,
Yeah.
like throughout the outro,
Yeah.
and then at one point, the director's actually in there. You
Oh, really?
Yeah, that older guy.
Yeah.
the older guy that wasn't in the movie at
I
all.
was about to say,
that
I
was
was
the
wondering,
director.
I was like, because it's Beam Ron, and then Jenny,
Jenny, uh-huh.
and then this old
Some
like,
dude.
some dude. And I'm like, wait, who
that
is
was the
This
director,
is this
man.
fucking guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He,
Okay.
he just made history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
knows it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, the whole thing. Now, I did kind of cringe. I'm like, get Jenny the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, Jenny,
Yeah.
take your ass on.
You're
man.
spoiling the
It's
soup.
I
Get
know,
the fuck
right?
off.
who ordered this mayonnaise? You know what I'm saying? You gotta get this mayonnaise out of my curry. But it was, man. It was like, it was kind of
was
weird.
hot.
But at the same time, I mean, it's just like, okay, well, you know, that little touch is made to appeal to a broader audience. It's
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
It's done
Okay,
very.
yeah.
It's done very pointedly.
Yeah.
Also, not everybody's that awful, and I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
the big message of this movie, I mean, of course, power of friendship, right? Is
And
about
imperialism
love
bad.
and
And
dedication.
imperialism
bad.
Yeah.
And we are free to make our own decisions
That's
and
right.
choices.
That's right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of love and honesty in this movie. It was a very sincere movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and
even
so-
with all the absurdity.
Yeah.
it
Oh, there's a
was
lot of absurdity.
It was sincere. in its absurdity.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a lot of passion in it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Now
love
we've
it.
just been gushing about
Yes.
this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of anything
Okay, so
negative
so
that I
would you-
personally
Nothing.
say.
I've got
I
zero.
literally-
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I
yeah.
really can't.
Well, first off, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay this on the table. Dance scenes aren't for me, and
I
that's
get
that's
that.
that's
I
fine.
understand that.
I'm not saying
I
it was
understand
bad. It was a hot dance scene,
Those
right?
man, especially
I
with
gotta
those
say that.
suspenders when they
Right,
start popping,
right.
I'm
It's
like,
just
"Oh!"
it's just not for
Yeah,
me. It's just
I'm
not for me,
usually
right?
that same way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I love
music,
dance.
like
Yeah,
like
and I feel
even
you.
yeah, even
Yeah.
in like musicals most of the time
Yeah.
when people just break out in song immediately.
Yeah,
it's like, it
kinda-
makes me cringe a
It
little
makes
bit.
me
yeah.
just want to shove a pencil in my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like, but I also that's me. That's
Yeah.
just me.
But their choreography was also so.
It was really
spot
well
on.
done. It
Especially
was- I'm not saying it
being in
wasn't.
Rom
I'm not saying it wasn't.
Together when they're doing the Natsu Natsu dance, and they're just like they're moving in perfect sync.
That yeah, they're,
Like it
I mean,
almost
they
seemed like
they
digital.
practiced a bunch.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
a bunch. And then they're all long shots. You always
Yeah.
see their whole body.
Uh-huh.
It's not like you get cuts.
No,
it's
no,
like
it's framed
they're-
really well.
They're doing
well,
the shit.
Hold on, actually,
Yeah.
you know what? How about this? How about
Uh-huh.
this? I will start with the things that I really like about the movie. Okay.
Okay.
I love the cinematography.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Okay. Cinematography is beautiful.
It's stunning.
I think that the story, although it's long, it doesn't drag in a
Never
story.
drags,
It doesn't
not
drag.
once,
Like I have to
no.
give it that, and the story is compelling, and it has a lot of heart. Like you said, it's got a lot of good stuff to it. I like the complexity of each of the characters. I like the all of that stuff's really good. The CG looks like garbage. I think the CG looks
true.
fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And for a movie that had this much of a budget, like I get it that there was a lot going on in a bunch of directions, and those two dudes cost them
That's what
probably
I'm
most
saying.
of the
It was-
budget.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that CG looks like garbage.
It does look.
But they
Alright.
don't lean. It's like I feel like the
Ooh,
movie
there's a
is
lot more CG that-
assisted
there's a
than
lot
it's
of
more
CG,
like
man.
leaning on. There is.
There's
But
a
we're talking
lot
about a
of
3-hour long movie. So
Right, but like that
by
bridge sequence, for
comparison-
instance, there's a lot of parts with the bridge sequence where I'm going like, that fire doesn't even look like it's in the right spot, or the bridge itself is actually all digital, and the way that
Yeah.
it's there, and I was just
Right.
looking at it going like, that's ugly, that's fucking ugly,
Yeah.
you know, or like they'll do it with background objects, where like a whole bunch of background objects are CG, and now, but the
Well,
thing is,
there
your
was a-
focus is on other shit,
Right.
so you're not looking at the CG.
Well, a lot
but
of
if
the-
you do,
A lot of the wide shots of
Yeah.
the governor's house were also
we're CG, yeah.
Yeah,
So
totally.
So there's a lot of that.
yeah.
You
know,
I
it's like a
noticed
Marvel
it.
film.
Yeah, again.
Right.
I noticed
Thor
it, and
movie.
of course
Yeah.
all the animals.
All the animals
all
are
the
CG,
animals
which
are
I did
CG.
not like the way that the animals looked. I
Yeah,
think in
I thought the
certain
tiger looked
scenes,
good.
I think in certain shots they look great.
Right.
And most of the time there was just that uncanny, like,
Yeah.
it
I get
just,
you.
it's almost like the Lion King remake, like the new John Favreau Lion
Yeah.
King remake, where you're like, it's like
Yeah.
almost,
It's
dude,
almost
it's
there.
like almost
Almost
there.
there.
You're so close that it actually makes it worse. Like it's, but that's just, again. But the thing that fucked me up the entire film, and this is the thing that bothered me about it nonstop, and I just couldn't. The ADR is terrible. The ADR is so bad.
I did
They
notice
obviously they re-recorded all of the
Yeah,
dialogue, including the
it's-
Hindi,
the dialogue is
over the top
definitely
of it,
dubbed.
and
Yeah.
it looks really bad most of the time.
Because
it's not
usually
synced
it's not
correctly.
Yeah.
synced correctly.
Yeah,
but
no, I think they're
usually
saying
what
different
they-
shit, dude.
No,
I think they're not
because-
even.
No, because
They recut the
have
film at the
you-
end. Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
usually with Tollywood movies, what
Yeah.
they'll do is film it several times in different languages. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so
But I
this
watched
time-
the Hindi version,
Well, that's
so that's
hold on,
exactly
hold
what
on.
bugs
What
me.
I'm saying is that's usually what they do in these regards. I think their whole goal this time was kind of to create that weird, like, almost like I said, once again, I think about the 80s, like back when, or almost like Japanese cinema
or old kung fu films. Yeah, and I agree
You
with
know
you
what
on
I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah,
Where it's
there's a
like
lot of
everything's
Shaw
are-
brothers going
exactly,
on in this,
because
right?
Even when you think
Yeah.
about, like, one of my biggest problems was like the English accents.
Yes.
where they're like
Yeah.
really, really bad.
They're
But
real
I think
bad.
that
Ooh.
that was all very intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of does give you more of a fantasy feel. Like, hey, this doesn't make sense. It's
Yeah,
just like, okay,
I can see that. I
you
can
know what
see
I'm
that.
saying?
For me,
Like-
it just took me out. That was
Right.
the,
I hear
that was
you.
the thing.
I hear you.
And that's really the nag
I-
that I had the whole movie. Is I was going, man, I
Whenever
wish
they
I could
speak.
get into this more, but they fucking
Yeah,
Their mouths move and something else comes out, and
that
it's real
almost
obvious.
Yeah,
that
the dubbing
almost
was
really
kinda-
took me
Yeah.
out. But I'm sorry, after the bridge scene, I was just like hooked.
Man, see
Yeah.
the-
But I get you.
But
I
that's the thing.
understand
I think it
because
was just a
again,
stylistic
that
choice,
almost got
right.
me too.
And same
Right.
here.
No,
And I
I'm
was
with
ready,
you.
I was ready to not take the movie seriously
Yeah.
because of that at first.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And then I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're just creating your own shit.
They're just making it weird as shit.
You're just
Well,
making it weird.
The way that I would relate it to is it's like overproduced metal. Right?
Ah.
Heard.
It has a very specific style to it. It's trying to do a very specific thing, and you either like the way it sounds or you don't.
don't.
And
Yeah.
it's not really that it's bad. It's just
Right.
it doesn't do it for you. That's it.
Right.
Because that's the way I feel about this movie for the most part. It's not that I think it's bad. I think that there's a lot going for it. I totally understand why this is a hit. I totally understand why it's blowing the fuck up in India.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Like I get it.
100%.
It's just not quite for me. I felt a
got
lot
you.
about this the same way I feel about Thunderbolt.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm going like, I totally appreciate what you got going
that
on,
one
but
kills me.
I
The
just,
more I watch Thunderbolt,
Yeah.
like Elise and I will be like, what's wrong with that dude?
man,
You know what I'm saying? Like, well,
it's-
seriously,
it just-
it's like what? Like, look.
It doesn't do
look at the
anything for me. It just
choreography.
doesn't. Like
You
it
know,
just.
look, man, I truly believe, and it's like I said this at the end of the movie, and I've heard people echo this, but I don't care about that so much. This might be my favorite movie ever. This might be like one of the best movies ever made.
Wow,
Like seriously,
okay.
and
it's a really good story.
It's
but
way up there
well,
for me.
dude.
It's
I mean,
way up
well,
there
it's one of
for
those
me.
things that I feel like if I was having a house party, I had
Yeah.
a whole bunch of people over, I'd just have that on
You wouldn't
because no matter,
put-
it's kind
you
of like
wouldn't put
Cabin in
House
the Woods.
Party on? What's
No, absolutely not. I mean, I might if there are a whole bunch of black folks. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't want to watch House Party, Trey.
know what
That's
I'm
what you're
saying?
trying to say to me.
I don't know how you feel about Tisha Campbell. I mean, I thought she was fine as fuck. But
yeah.
but the truth of the matter is, like, it's one of those movies, like I said, kind of like Cabin in the Woods, where at any point you can look at the screen and be entertained without knowing anything leading up to that point, or
Yeah.
even sticking around for more than 15 minutes.
Oh, it
right?
was definitely an entertaining time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like
yeah,
the
undoubtedly.
entire
Yeah.
time. Even if you had the shit on mute,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "Oh damn, like, what
Yeah.
the fuck
Man,
is this?" You know?
look at all those colors.
Yeah, right. You know, like
Because
it's
again,
beautiful.
the cinematography is fucking beautiful.
It's brilliant.
It's
absolutely.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't have anything else, man. I've gushed all I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah,
it,
I
man.
mean, I that's the thing. I've been waiting all week.
I see where you're coming from.
Totally.
Because
Yeah.
I totally
Yes.
noticed those same things.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause
it just wasn't enough, at least for me, to
Yeah.
take me out of it.
It did take me out of
Yeah.
it,
Right.
and that's
I
that's
understand.
the
I
reason
get
why
it.
I don't think the movie's amazing.
Because
I
there's
think
a
the
lot
movie's good. I think it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what happened with me is I just started having fun.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it's like I'm like, dude, this
Oh,
is
I was
just,
laughing
it's just
this
a,
whole
this
time.
is
I
just
was-
a fun
Right.
movie. Like
I
I'm
was
not like they're not.
screaming at the fucking
I
TV.
was
Just
too.
no.
I was too.
No,
So
that
same.
motherfucker didn't just flip a goddamn motorcycle. What
Dude.
the fuck? Like, just
Same
the
here.
whole
Yeah.
time.
Same here,
Hold-
man.
I've never been that active in
Right.
a movie. I haven't been that active in a like while watching a movie for a long
Probably
time.
since I was like a kid, man.
For a
like,
long
it's been
time.
a long
It's
time.
been a
since-
minute.
Maybe
It's been-
maybe
I
the
know that
raid.
it's
Maybe
yeah.
when I saw the
Jesus
raid for
Christ,
the
the
first
Raid.
The
time.
raid is so fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
Yeah.
I get where you're coming.
Yeah, because I'm not at all saying that this is a bad movie.
Right,
I,
yeah.
I can't say that. That's stupid. like,
I mean,
that's-
no,
yeah.
that movie's
Yeah, no, it's got too much going for it.
Mm.
It just stylistically, there are a bunch of things that I don't mesh with.
Yeah.
that's
I got
that's
you.
all it is. Yeah.
Totally.
So
Yeah, teach their own, man.
yeah, I'm not trying to shit on the film.
Right,
No,
yeah.
right. Well,
absolutely
no,
not.
I
no,
just
not
didn't
being
want you guys
accused
to
of that
think
at all.
that. Yeah.
No, man.
No.
No. We've had so many discussions about.
Well,
shit.
I
It's
will
fun.
say I was sitting there like, so when did this is something that did take me out of it for just a second is when at the end of the movie when the army's like sneaking up on him, I was just like, when did this turn into Vietnam?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because they had like the
Uh-huh.
leaves on their
They did.
head.
They
and
totally
the-
did.
because they
and
call
they
them
had
the special forces.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Those
He
are
He
the
was like,
Marines.
Yeah, he was like send
Yeah.
in the special
I was
forces,
just like,
and they
this is
did. I'm like, oh, so they got
colonial
ghillie
times.
suits.
Yeah,
These
this
motherfuckers
motherfuckers
doing
are
over
doing
here?
some
Yeah.
guerrilla warfare.
nah,
and
But
shit.
a little
again-
more that's actually very real. Like
We're-
people have been doing that
yeah,
shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that just used to be called war.
yeah,
and then the British made some dumb rules that they thought
Uh-huh.
everybody would follow, and they're like, no, you stand in lines and
Yes.
walk towards each other.
that
That's
has
what you do.
always blown my mind. I'm like,
That's how much they
somebody-
give a shit about order. That they're
Exactly.
willing to waste men so that everybody stands straight.
Exactly.
Like-
we want it to be as much like chess as possible. You see, it's just like, oh my god.
How else am I going to sit in this tower and enjoy myself?
Exactly. I want to see all of my moving pieces.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like
That was the first version of Risk.
I mean, actually,
Right.
it was.
yeah, literally,
Pretty much.
yes.
But no, I totally think this is something everybody should go check out.
Shit,
Yeah.
And see if it's
absolutely.
for you.
Like
see
I
if it's
say,
for you.
I think
you know?
that if you, because there's this guy at work, and I, we talk about movies all the time, but usually, you know how I feel about long films in the first place, and I'm just like,
most of them aren't worth the length.
You know, exactly, and usually
Most
it's just
of 'em
like,
aren't.
okay, I saw this movie and it's pretty good. Here's the good, here's the bad. I was just like, bro, this, and then the name makes it a cumbersome sale.
Right,
Yeah.
the name makes it
It's
very
hard to
cumbersome.
sell.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
I still
well,
think it's a
told
little
him.
whack, but
I
that's
mean,
okay.
it means more now.
It does.
You know, it means a lot now.
And it looks. Oh, by the way, that one transition where there's the fire and the
my
water fist,
God.
and they're like,
yes.
"Oh, that shit's so
Oh.
good." I was like, "All right, guys, all
Makes me
right,
so
you got some
emotional,
style
man.
here, right?
Makes
You
me
got
so
some
emotional.
style."
Yeah, but I was telling him about the movie, and he's just like, well, I'll watch it at some point, maybe. I won't go out of my way. And I was like, dude, okay, you're actively choosing to live a worse life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just actively. I don't often come and just be like, you have got to see this.
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, with it being Indian, with it being Hindi, with it being, as long as it is, with it having that very unconventional naming convention.
Yeah, and they
it's-
smash a lot of different genres together, so it can kind of give you a little. There's the potential for whiplash.
Well, right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a potential for rejection. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just like, you know what? I don't know what the fuck that is. And that little trailer that intrigued me when I first saw it, I'm like,
Yeah.
God, that's fucking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
So I thought it was going to be just straight up comedy.
Yeah.
You show people that and they're just like,
What is this? The Jungle Book?
yeah,
what the
for
fuck
real,
is
I don't know if I
this?
can see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Is it 300 with the lion or with a
Why
tigers?
Mowgli so hairy?
Exactly, right? Because Bean was hairy motherfucker.
That's
Yeah, it was.
manly.
That's
Jesus.
a look, dude. That's a
I like it.
man.
That's a
Like,
man.
That's a
Uh-huh.
man. Okay.
Man's
That's
a
a
man.
man. That's a man.
Man.
Anyways, I think it's great. Highly
10 out of 10, man.
10 out of 10.
13 out of 10.
There you
Wow.
go.
I said it.
That is
So,
something.
Dude, every other movie this year
Yeah.
has to match up to this.
It's
no.
definitely not sad enough to be one of my favorite movies.
there you go.
It is.
That's what it is.
It's a little sad. It's a little sad.
When
Yeah.
Molly's mama got her head cracked.
Yeah, sure, that was sad. No, I agree. Yeah, sure, that was
That
sad.
sucks.
It's kinda sad.
It's a bad situation. You might want to get her out of the
It's
street,
bad,
though.
you know.
I thought she was dead.
Yo, me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I
Yeah.
thought she was dead. When
Me
I saw her
too.
show up at the end, I'm like, yay!
Yeah, for real. Me too.
Molly Mama.
'Cause I thought they killed that woman. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But definitely recommend this this show has been going for a while.
Yeah, where we at? 317?
Yeah.
It's
That's
longer
not
to
bad
watch
for
this
us.
episode than to watch RRR. So
That's true. That's true. Because then
But
you get to
thank
come
you.
back and watch the post show here.
That's right.
After you watch it and
So,
see exactly why we're so
Thank
passionate.
you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for the
Yes.
follows, the subscribes, being in the chat, all
thank
that
you,
good stuff.
the big Zambita.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
welcome to the family.
Indeed. Make sure you ring the bell. That way you know when we go live
Ding the
later
ding.
on. Guys, we be streaming later this week. I know I will. On my personal channel, Laser Punch 86. Phil,
Power
you're
of
at Power
Grayscale.
of Grayscales.
I think mine's fucked up, so I actually
Really?
need you guys
Really?
to check this out with me. And we'll,
Okay.
we'll talk about
We'll
it.
figure it
Yeah.
out, but you're at Lintarg.
Yeah.
And then come back later tonight. We will be throwing hands in DNF Duel on the Drunken Monks postcast.
Checking out the new
Yes.
anime hotness.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thank you. Check us out
Mad
on
love, mad
YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and anywhere else you want to listen to podcasts. And we will see you guys next week. One last thank you and goodbye.